Yo, what's good, y'all? What it do? What it do? Everybody in the chat room chilling out, kicking it. What's good, all of y'all? Just want to show some love. I see y'all out there. Good to see everybody in good spirits, man. Everybody seem to be rolling up some good. At least 75% of my chat room smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to y'all, man. You know me, I'm always smoking. Shout out to the brother Quentin out there. Shout out to the chief and his wife. Shout out to the sister Shirley, my sister Duntrice. Wet Flicks in the building. iMac Music. You ain't blocked because you're typing. So shout out to you too, and my brother Jordan Ship Peabody in the building. Peabody Grind. Exalt Raw, what's good, brother? Instinct, what's good? LAO Media. What's good, y'all? Mr. Matt, I got your email and we're going to get you up here. What y'all want to talk about today, man? Like, I'm just pretty much catching up. I've been up under a rock, you know. Been up under a rock. Also been going through this these dental procedures. I told you I'm removing all of this mercury out of my mouth. I had a lot of amalgams in my mouth. And, you know, this recent one been giving me some pain that's been keeping me awake. You know what I'm saying? It be painful, you know. So, but not to talk about that. I'm just happy to be back. I'm feeling real good now. So, I mean, we could talk for a minute, guys. And yeah, you know, I've been working on the music. I know everybody, you know, my presence on YouTube ain't been as prevalent as it normally would be. And it's because, for one thing, you do need a break sometime. Okay, it get exhausting. And then for another thing, I got to focus on other stuff too, so that I can return and focus on this with more concentration. I can't really focus on YouTube how I want to, because there's so much other stuff that I need to do and balance it out. So I'm gonna start making narrated documentaries like movie style movies. I'm gonna step my game up and go to another level. But I can't focus on that right now until I get the music production out the way because I'm supposed to be sending some beats to my cousin and everything who's working with some people and stuff like that. So just to give a shout out to my big cuz too, he be watching this shit sometime. So I'm in good spirits. Char Branch, what's good? Zoned out, what's good? Hood Avatar, what's good? Shout out to my peoples, man. Teardrop Hall and my brother, Back to Your Roots. And shout out to everyone in that chat room, man. Drico Suave, what's good? I see you, brother. Toro Bravo. Quentin, what's good, brother? Hey, what we'll do.
He delivered it to Spring.
Okay, hold on a second, guys. Guys, I gotta make a very important run. I'll be right back, but the show gonna still be live, but I'm not gonna be talking for at least about 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Hey, what's good, y'all? We still rolling. I definitely had to make that run, man, because I had a delivery go to the wrong address. And you know how that go, man. How long was I gone? About 10 minutes? I told y'all 10 minutes. I want to see that I beat the time frame. We about to still continue this thing and get it in. It's Friday. Y'all know how we do. So yeah, man, and I'm really excited, to be here to be doing this open panel because Friday's a day where people know they ain't gotta do shit tomorrow. We can kick it. I got a couple of time, to kick it with y'all, and we can teach. We can talk about anything, and I still love to do this shit. So hey, pick my brain. If you in the chat room, if you got questions or anything, we doing Q&A, we doing bills, debates, discussions. Y'all know how we do, man. But we hoping for a lit stream today, and I think we gonna get it. So hit the like button for me. And I apologize for stepping out. I think I was gone about 10 minutes. I do got people putting their emails in the chat room, and I'm copying them into a notepad because I think that's a smart way to do it. People who join the panel regularly, just keep y'all email in like a notepad. So I'm gonna put these in a notepad, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send them all at one time so we can make sure we get everybody that's putting them. So while I give y'all some more time to put your emails in the chat room, go ahead. Anybody else want to join this Friday live stream? You know it's going to be lit. And you know we're going to be talking about anything and everything from top to bottom. We got to catch up like mustard. Hood Avatar, I'm getting your email. I see all of y'all. I'm copying them into my little Rolodex right now. Make sure you ain't got no typos, y'all. All right, cool. I'm gonna give you some more time to put the emails out there before I send them all. And we're gonna get all of y'all up here. Charles Waters. Now, people, before I get y'all up here, there are some rules to the chat. We only gonna speak one at a time. Your mic has to remain muted until it's your time to speak. And we got to be mindful that it's a panel full of people, so there's not going to be one person talking forever. All right, now unless it's me because it's my show and I'm the host. But that's going to be the rules of the panel. And I think that we all going to keep those rules without me having to keep on repeat them. So if you're listening right now, you put your email in the chat, I got you. I'm putting you in my Rolodex. We about to get y'all up here in a minute. And just remember the rules, man, that when you get up here, you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and everything off top, unmute yourself because you just joining and, introduce yourself. And then, mute yourself and let the next man do it, and kind of pass that thing around and we're gonna have some order. You know what I mean? So that's the only rule. Other than that, I don't care if you curse, I don't care what you talk about, I don't care how you talk about it, I ain't gonna censor your ass. This is right here is a real open panel. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Brandon James, let me get you into the Rolodex. And I think that's enough emails for now. We're going to go on and invite these brothers on. That look like 10 of them right there. We're going to go and start this. Enough emails for now, people. Keep your emails. I think I got 10 people. So I'm going to send it to all of y'all at the same time. And as you can see, it ain't going to let me do that. So let me try one at a time. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm trying to copy the whole list into the thing. So I got to put y'all in here. We're going to do you. Bam, gotcha. If yours don't pop up, it's because you didn't type it right or something like that. It ain't reading you. But as you can see, I'm doing this live and I'm putting all these emails in here at one time, and then I'm gonna send an invite at one time. And what I might do, I might go over to Gmail and send the link personally and forward that link to each of y'all, because some of y'all, you know, don't get the links through the way I'm doing it now. So I sent it to the first 5, and now Jerome Turner is the first one on the second 5. Welcome to the stream, guys.
What up?
What's good? Hold on. They can't hear me.
Peace to everybody in the panel.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show, brothers.
What's good? Hey, it's C-Dot. I'm at work right now, but I'll be chiming in here and there.
All right, for sure. That's what's up. Hell yeah. And
hey, bro, good to be with you. Thanks
man, good to see you, Tim. Good to see all of you brothers, man. And listen to the people in the chat that sent emails. Everyone got sent an invite. Now I would send it through the Gmail, but I don't think that's necessary. Y'all should be able to get the invite. So what we'll do, man, we'll start this thing one at a time. If you on a panel, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then mute your mic.
What up? I'm Blah. Justin, you know what I'm saying?
Say
out of
what?
Chicago, out of I just want to say, bro, Sanchez, man, we really appreciate everything you done brought to the table over here on my end, brother. And I'm sharing it with everybody. I got my foot on a lot of necks. This knowledge, man. Really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you for sharing it, my brother, because with the stuff we know, man, you know, this shit.
Stuff on Instagram, too.
Hell yeah. And see, I'm on Instagram, but I don't be on there like that. So that's really love right there, man.
Yes, sir. They got your links and everything I post. I always screenshot so they get your emails, they get the link, a lot of stuff on Facebook. So, but I'm back though. I'm gonna mute my mic and let all the brothers. We're gonna get it.
I
second that, bro. You've been doing great work, man. And everybody out there needs to understand that the censorship is hitting new levels. They're not going to be promoting bro's work because it's dangerous to the establishment. And the ad revenue might be falling as a result of that. So everyone needs to step up to the plate and donate a couple bucks, and it'll add up if all the supporters do that.
What I'm going to move toward, though, when I get the time to really focus back on creating content besides live streams, is I'm going to be starting to make fully edited, narrated, like documentaries and shit. But when I do that, I'm gonna have I'm gonna start paying for a monthly Dropbox. I'm gonna need a lot of storage from them. I got one, but I'm gonna have to increase that because I'm gonna put all of these videos and back them up on a Dropbox. And when you go to I'm gonna redo the website to where when you go there, you'll be able to watch these fully edited documentaries. And I'm gonna take all of my knowledge and I'm gonna vlog my life along with the teachings. And I'm gonna edit it very professionally. We're gonna go for it's gonna be a whole nother makeover. But when I do
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
put out like the first 30 minutes on YouTube and then get people over to your site.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing. Yeah, they still got me on block on Bro Sanchez TV. I can't go live on that channel until next month. But when I do, we gonna motherfucking go over there and have a ball, you know.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Hey, shout out to all of y'all brothers. Thank y'all for joining me, man. Feel free to unmute at any time and unmute yourself and start a topic or whatever you want to talk about. Feel free to do it because a lot of people say, man, brother, why you have so many open panels? Well, I have so many presentations and streams where I get up there and teach. So sometime, like right now, I could have opened up some folders and did some stuff like that. But I really like to build with the community and just see where y'all want to take the knowledge. Because we can talk about anything right now, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on, brother Sanchez? My name Rico, man. I want to talk about amalgam fillings because I had 4 that in my mouth removed, and I want to hear what your take on it.
Yeah, my take on it, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and that's a good topic, man. I saw a dang on documentary on Netflix that I don't normally be moved by documentaries and shit that go on really just like when I saw when I saw the vegetarian documentaries, the slaughterhouses and shit, Cowspiracy, I became a vegan with that knowledge. When I saw this documentary, it was called what was the name of that shit? I put it up. It was called Root Cause, talking about root canals, and the American dentistry is still practicing forms of medical practices that they was practicing in medieval times. This is a deep topic because, for example, like gold teeth. Gold teeth, we use them for fashion today. We say, okay, yeah, man, I got a grill in my mouth. But back in the day, it was for rich people who they lost the teeth or they wanted to cover up dentist work and stuff. They would use the gold crowns and gold teeth and shit like that. But one thing they did back then, they would do the root canals and fill it with the mercury fillings. And they still do that today. That's medieval shit. Now check this out. Mercury is the only liquid that stay in a metal form, and it's one of the most toxic substances on earth. The question is, why would they use it in the mouth where the most sensitive nerve endings are? So when you got mercury in your mouth, remember that if you ever had a toothache, that's some pain. But see, the tooth nerves is connected to the brain, the throat, the neck. Man, when you can get a toothache and your ear be hurting, your neck be hurting, your damn shoulder start hurting on that side with your head. If anybody know what I'm talking about, because the nerves in the tooth are like the most sensitive endings on the body. You know what I'm saying? And when they in proximity of these mercury, this basically mercury poison. This is warfare for real, man. Like women who had mercury fillings on the left side of their mouth had breast issues associated with that breast on that side. Ain't that something? That's a scientific study that the women who went to the dentist and had most mercury fillings had the most breast cancer and more cancers and shit and tumors and shit. And then associated on that side. So it's science behind this shit that this mercury shit is not, you know what I'm saying? The
medical institution just flies by the seat of their pants just to make a buck. They pretend like they know everything and they have their act together, but also really they just they wait until we prove that there's an issue and then they they backtrack.
Hey, also after that, after your spine, your jaw have the biggest nerve in your body. So you got to think about how that nerve affecting, how that metal affecting that nerve that's running up your jaw.
And that mercury over time, it starts to leak into other parts of the body and start to be cancerous and you know what I'm saying? My whole shit like that.
When you do when they do the scanning, you can see it leaking from your gums down into your bloodstream. What I seen was on I think it was Hulu. No, it's on Amazon Video. It's called Evidence and Harm. That's a real documentary, good one about amalgam. So you might want to check that.
I'm gonna definitely check that out. Evidence and Harm.
Yeah, Evidence and Harm.
Okay, and just some more about amalgams. When I saw that documentary and I learned all the stuff that I was telling y'all there, and it's so much more stuff. What I did was I researched a holistic dentist in my area, and I found one. And he's been removing all of the mercury out of my mouth and putting it in restoring those teeth with organic forms of shit. And my mouth feel good, but when you have so many to remove like me, because I had fucked up teeth, you can be sore as fuck, all that work getting done all the time. So I can't wait till it's all done and I can just, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I would recommend anybody with mercury fillings to, whatever you got to do to start getting them shits removed. Even if you can't go to a holistic dentist, then you may have to just get that motherfucker extracted. You know what I mean? That's cheaper, but you'll have the mercury removed. Like,
Yeah, the regular dentists do it. They use plastic. They just don't take their time when they cut it out. When you go to a holistic doctor, they want to break your mercury out in big pieces. But if you go to a regular dentist, they're just going to drill, which releases a lot more mercury inside your body.
to a
And then, like,
scratch
once you
that,
take
yeah.
them out, like I got mine out in January, the end of December, and the second set was the beginning of January. And as time going on, you got to chelate, and like even my brain is getting clearer and clearer. My memories back, my dreams are more back. You know that with a vegan diet, but as time go on, you feel better and better. I'm trying to find
You
people that
definitely
take
feel
to see how
better.
they feel. But they say as years go on, you feel how good it is. I have them out.
Hey, you definitely start feeling better and more energy and shit like that. I ain't even bullshit. After even the first one get removed, no bullshit. It's like, man, it's like that mercury is just. It's something about that mercury being in proximity to those nerves, because it gotta be deeper than just we gonna use mercury to feel this shit. I can't find a valid explanation of why you would use motherfucking mercury.
They're doing it purposely because, like, when I went to the
Yeah,
holistic
that's
doctor,
kind of crazy.
he shows the chart of what each tooth is connected to what nerve and what part of your body. So depending on the tooth and what's going on there is how you feel in a certain part of your body. So they did it purposely.
Hey, you
Yeah, and
just
also
you sure ain't lying. When you go in a holistic dentist office, you'll see that chart. Each tooth is associated with like a different organ or some shit on the body, man. And we're gonna go into that. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to say, in addition, I've been doing research into vaccines and drinking water, and we're under attack from all sorts of different angles. But I know that's kind of changing the point. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, it was a lady, right? She had a back problem, and the lady got surgery to handle this pain in her back, and the surgery didn't get rid of the pain. And she was talking to all these doctors, was trying so many treatments for her back, none worked. And then she ended up having some a tooth problem, and she went to a holistic dentist for her tooth problem. And the dentist, the holistic tooth dentist, asked her, "Are you having back pain as well?" She was like, "Oh yeah. How do you know that?" He was like, "Well, the tooth that you coming in for is associated with that pain in the area of your back. Once I fix your tooth, your back pain gonna go away." And when he fixed her tooth, she didn't have no more back pain.
Wow. Hey, imagine. Can you mute your mic when you're not speaking? We're getting some feedback.
So that's very deep. That just show you how connected the body is. This woman was seeing doctor after doctor and couldn't figure out what was wrong with her back. And she even got a surgery that didn't fix it. And when she had a tooth problem, the dentist found out that diagnosed her back problem and cured it from her mouth. So this man cured her back from her mouth. Why? Because the pain nerves that was connected to that part of her spine was running to that part of her teeth that had mercury and shit corroding on it.
Hey, bro Sanchez, my wife cousin just had dental surgery because he was having heart problems. And when he went to the hospital, he had to go get that tooth pulled that was infected in his mouth. Once he pulled that tooth, that heart problem went away.
It's just crazy, dog, because it's a chart up in there that show you which tooth is connected to the heart and all that shit, man. And it just show you that it's so many ways to heal the body other than, okay, your liver fucked up, I'm gonna cut up inside of you and do all this. What if it's a tooth that's in your mouth leaking some shit on that nerve or that vein that's running to that liver? Because the holistic dentists, they stand by that statement that most of the medical problems we have are starting from our mouth. That's why the fucking documentary that I watch is called Root Cause, because they saying that the teeth are the root cause of most of the body's disease. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They was saying, yeah.
I was just finna say, think about the first, when you eat these toxins, absorb these GMOs, the first thing it come in touch with is your gums, your tongue. And, you know, the quickest way to introduce something to the body when you're doing a drug is put it under your tongue. Well, that's one of the quickest ways. But yeah, man, all that stuff is being directly absorbed into your system, to those nerves, and it's running to those different parts of your body. That's why I always tell cancer patients at their job, the first thing you got to do is change your eating habits. You got to let the meat go and eat more holistically. You know, drink the right water, and your body will heal itself.
Well, they worked hard because they got it. They got your stomach where disease started, and also your root in your mouth. So they got the warfare plan.
There's
And you know what's so sad about it, man, is that the medical industry is in cahoots with the Food Drug Administration and the food, the diet, the people who make your food. And they want to make an industry where they don't want to really tell you the shit you eat and the cause of it all. They just want to give you a drug, and you can still, like a lot of people, older people that I see in my life now, they taking hella medications to still be able to eat the fucked up shit when they can eat their healing and stop taking all them meds while still trying to eat fucked up. So that instead of the doctor telling them, look, you need to goddamn go full vegan and get like that, they saying, no, you need to eat chicken and fish. When fish
you got to keep their custies, man.
Yeah, you know, the doctor's still giving them the fucked up diet. Like a lot of people the doctor telling these folks no bullshit, chicken and fish and all that. And you know that the only way is the vegan way to heal from this shit that they got. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that number's on the uprise in the black community. I was looking at a couple of reports on it and reading it from like BBC, and they were saying how more and more African Americans going vegan to combat health problems.
It's true because Carl's Jr. got a vegan burger now. Everybody get you know, the vegan shit is just on the rise.
Yeah, but look though, I'm gonna tell you how they get you even with the vegan diet. What they do is they feed it to the cows, then they take the manure that the cows produce and they put the manure on the vegetables. So the vegetables absorb everything that the cow ate, and therefore when you go vegan and you eat that shit, you getting the same thing. So they really getting you both ways, bro. And you know, they tell you the food is when you go, that is whatever they call it, but you know, they tell you one thing, but who say they lying or telling the truth, man? I'm just saying, bro. Yeah, we got all the ways to fix your own.
That's
what I wanted to ask you, brother Sanchez, how you plan to chelate? Like I started using like the Dr. Sebi chelation package, so I just wanted to know what was your plan?
Chelation meaning after the removal process of how you cleanse.
Yeah, how you get the metals out your body.
The doctor
like foods that do it.
The doctor was telling me about the chelation process. I just do the same thing I've been doing, man. I got a strict vegetarian diet, and what makes it a vegetarian diet is I do light cheeses sometime, and I know that's fucked up, but I incorporate it in a lot of my salads and shit like that, in different vegan meals we make. But because I don't know what it is about, but anyway, I think my diet is good enough, and I'm still working with it. I'm trying to take shit out of it and incorporate more things into it. But like right now, if I cut my camera on, you'll see like I'm drinking. Now I don't know how good this is for you. And hold on, let me see which camera I got on. Well, I don't know which camera I got, but I got a good greens right now that I'm drinking on.
Yeah, you could one good herb is it's called like Cascada Sagrada. That's one that's like in Dr. Sebi herbs. You might want to use that. It helps bring it out. Burdock root is a good one, but not a heavy one. And it's Hold
on, I'm gonna write these down, brother, because I need a list of them for when I go out and shit to keep on my mind. I might have to look for some of this shit.
Yeah, another good drink is that kombucha, man. That kombucha is a good drink. You get the organic kombucha. That's a good drink too. It's full of high probiotics, help aid with digestion, and you already eat high fiber with the vegetables. So yeah, it works wonders, bro. It helps clean you out.
Hey, let me chime in real quick. This is your boy Jay Indiana Jones. Hey,
trace minerals is good for you. And also what you kind of want to do, because most things don't even come in like a powder form or a liquid form, but you would rather do the liquid form because your body, you know, it burns energy just to digest, but liquid, it gets directly into your blood. And so anything liquid form, like even juice and everything, is like completely better than just actually eating the apple itself. If you actually extracted the juice from the apple and took it that way, it would go into you directly versus you actually burning energy just to eat the apple.
There's some good stuff. I'm writing a lot of it down. And I remember that the brother told me to get burdock and yellow dock, I think he said. And I got down there too.
If you can look, it's called Cascara Sagrada. If you look on the screen right now, it should be showing me. That's a good herb right there. I have a book that tells you a whole bunch of herbs, but this is one good herb right here. Burdock is another good one. But let me see if I can find another one that's good for it.
Cause he did tell me when you remove these metals from the mouth, you gotta start the chelation process. So I know that it's more I gotta do other than just you know, my diet, which ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try some of these, definitely incorporate them into.
Yeah. Here go another one. It's, I guess you call it rhubarb root. This is another great one for cleansing. So that one in the Cascada Sagrada, those two you can have. Like you have 500 milligrams of this a day for the rhubarb root. But this is a good one for chelation.
Yeah, I'm writing these down, man. I'm gonna be on the prowl for them because I had a lot of metal in my mouth, so I know I gotta remove a lot. That's another thing too. When y'all do get this shit done, you ain't through. You got to go through this chelation process.
Yeah, another good one, bro, is yellow root. Yellow root is good. It's a bitter root, and you can get the yellow root tea, and you take that and it cleanses the liver. And because it's bitter, it fights cancer. You know, just like they always tell you when you get cancer, eat a bitter green, a bitter root, and yellow root is a very good one for you too.
That one down too. Yellow root. Somebody said cilantro. Somebody said dandelion is another good one. I ain't even know you can eat dandelion.
Yeah, dandelion tea. You can buy dandelion tea from the store too, and you can get organic dandelion tea. That one is also a bitter root, and it fights cancer too.
On your everyday though, Brother Sanchez, you should get sea moss with the bladderwracks, man, just to get the 92 minerals and just the bladderwrack, just to get out all the toxins, diuretic. Every day I drink sea moss and bladderwrack in the morning, man. You can just get it mixed up from plenty places besides Dr. Sebi, but he has the powder form too, or the capsules. But that takes your energy and your everything, your bones stronger. Just you feel so much better eating that every day. Plus, it regulates your bowels, even if they're good. Like you're gonna be going more, and it's gonna be solid. Sea moss and bladderwrack, man.
Hell yeah,
those minerals, man. Those minerals good for you because those minerals, it's just like rock. It's a rock basically. So salt is a mineral, but you don't want a lot of salt because it gives you high blood pressure. So when you get all those minerals, man, it helps a lot by breaking down stuff in your body. That's why when you was a kid, it was okay for you to play in the dirt and eat the dirt and stuff like that because you just get minerals.
That's crazy. People are on them primitive videos prepare their meals right on the bank of the river and on leaves, and they outlive us. That's crazy. Did you know that the companies that use the most hand sanitizer got the most sicknesses? Now, ain't that weird? And they've been telling us how dangerous the antibacterial soap is and how it was a marketing scheme and it's cancerous and shit. And it's just so many things. Like we the only country still produce sell Johnson's baby powder. That shit is banned in most of the world because of the toxins. And we put it on our babies still because we just waking up. One thing I want to ask you, brother, did you say bladder act? Bladder act? What was the name of that liquid? Sea moss and what was it? Bladder act or bladder?
Yeah, sea moss with bladderwrack. It's
okay.
BLANDDR I'm about to spell it wrong. Bladder rack though. It's like bladder and rack.
Okay, I got you.
As soon as you put in CMOS and bladder rack, it'll pop up.
All right. Yeah, hell yeah, man. You know, this is like these holistic dentists cost, you know, a little bit more money than the regular ones. Don't let that discourage you. That's what all of them credit cards for that you got, not just to hoard them motherfuckers. Crack one of them open on yourself, goddamn it, and get your mouth fixed, you know. If you got that mercury in it.
Hey, bro, Sanchez, you don't know about oil pulling for your mouth?
I never heard of oil pulling.
Yeah, you do like some raw coconut oil, and you like swish it in your mouth for about 20 minutes. And it's basically just gonna extract all the toxins out your mouth.
Yeah, but do not do that if you have metal fillings in your mouth, because that's gonna make all the mercury come out even more, and like it'll increase your sensitivities in your nerve and really fuck you up.
That's why you use that to be.
Hey, what do you guys think about seedless fruit, like watermelon, for example? Because I can't find watermelon with seeds anywhere, so I just eat the seedless because I think it's still fruit, but would it be better off not to eat it?
Yeah, you need to find. I mean, I can't sit here and say that I don't get. Well, no, I get seeds in my fruit. So it should be another option, brother. You ain't limited to seedless stuff. You got to get
What you do is, excuse me, bro, Sanchez.
No, you got it.
What you do is, man, you go to your local farmer markets or your local growers, and you start purchasing your fruit from your local growers, because that's all organic, and most of them have the seeds. Like when you go to farmers markets, they have the seeded grapes. They be the big grapes with the seeds on them. And because the seedless stuff is genetically modified, because naturally fruit produce seeds. So when you get a fruit without seed, that mean it's been modified in some type of way, and
right.
Probably ain't no telling what's in it. So I mean, you want to go local.
Yeah, definitely go local.
More looking around, because like the regular stores like Walmart and stuff like that, they have the seedless fruit, and like I don't eat meat, so I still grab the fruit because I feel like it's still a better option.
What state you live in?
Ohio.
Oh, I don't know if y'all listen. If you go to a lot of the Mexican grocery stores, they got a lot of real fruit.
Yeah, I'll just do some looking around.
Like we got La Bonitas out here, and a lot of the fruit, real talk, in the Mexican grocery stores be a lot of seed shit, real shit.
Yeah, that's where I go. We got one here in Georgia called the International Farmers Market, and we got a couple of farmer markets here. So I hit those farmers markets, man. It's a whole different ball game with that fruit. They have fruit that you don't even hear about here, man. And that's a lot of nutrients that's the reason why when people go vegan, they worry about not getting the nutrients that they need, because they don't expand their palate. You know, it's other fruits and other vegetables out there besides the little narrow fruits and vegetables that we consume on a daily basis, or that we've been taught. So when you go to the farmers market, you run across a lot of things that you wouldn't normally run across at Walmart or Publix.
You know, hey, have you ever saw them daggone cotton candy flavored grapes yet, bro? Jerome, anybody saw them on?
No, I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah,
They got them out here. I'm out.
When I first saw them, I said, yeah, they achieved another motherfucking level of mutation around this bitch. The grapes, they got cotton candy. I ain't playing, y'all. They ain't putting the flavoring on top of the grapes. They growing them genetically to taste like cotton candy.
Hey, bro, my wife just said they got blue strawberries now.
Hey, the children of the future ain't gonna know what real shit look like. But it's crazy, because if you look at most of the shit we eat today. Yeah, go ahead. You got it, brother. Y'all can go ahead.
Look, bro, I work for the school district, right? And they got this class. It's one of the science labs where they trying to teach the children on how to basically do like how the brother just said. They got blue strawberries. They basically trying to go through. I don't know how exactly. I don't really stop to really pay attention to it, but they're trying to figure out how to basically do that. You know, teaching children. That's crazy, man.
See, what they do is, man, when they water it, they add chemical to the water that reacts with the fruit, you know, and it turns it that color, man, and you consuming that chemical when you eat that fruit. You know, it's just like when they used to teach us in school, if you take any kind of plant or a rose and you put blue food coloring in the water and let the rose just continue to grow, and every time you water, you drop the blue food coloring in, the rose eventually, the petals will turn blue if it's a white rose, and if it's a different color, you know, it turns different colors. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man.
Bro, this world
Hey,
is
brother
weird.
Sanchez, I don't want to take us too left.
Nah, take
my
a
sis, I'm finna do her tattoo. I be dropping a little knowledge with her, and she asked me the question. I was trying to explain to her, you know, the origin of Jesus Christ and stuff, and the cross correlation of what it really represents. But she was asking about Jesus. So can you help her a little bit, you know, over and understand what level we on right now as far as with the religion?
Yo, she got to come herself. Leave her there. All right, I'm going to mind my business.
Hey,
What you say, bro?
What I'm gonna hey, let me give. I'm gonna definitely. Is she? Well, if I do that, I may have to screen share if we get into that. You know, I don't know if y'all actually watching.
I don't know. Maybe Bro Sanchez stepped away, or he talking. He don't know he muted.
Yeah, I was talking and didn't know I was muted. My bad. I was telling the brother I may have to screen share for that, so I don't know if they actually watching the screen or just listening.
I'm finna I'm on screen so she can. I'm finna run in it. Just tell me what color you and the brother explain this to you.
I answer any question she got, but hey, make sure when you do it that you get somewhere where you still and you from outside, because right now we can barely hear you, but we can just make it through. We can make through with what you're saying, but it's kind of broken up. But it's all good. And let me give a shout out to the brother Sir Drop, man. Appreciate that. What's good, brother? Drop. You want to drop your email in the chat, bro? You know I thought you did. Let me grab you. I see you. And then we're gonna continue this thing, man. And yeah, we're gonna wait on that, brother, and we'll switch gears and get into Christianity, because you know that's always something we want to expose light on. And not just picking on Christians, but other religions too. But it's just so crazy that most of our people are Christians. So we always want to deal with that. But this GMO food is if you've been listening in, then you know that it's motherfucking getting out of control. Blue strawberries, cotton candy grapes. What are the children of tomorrow going to see when they walk in the supermarket? Not the shit we see. And if you think about it, the shit we see ain't the real way it's supposed to look, because I can show you a video now that the bananas we eating wasn't bright yellow and they had seeds in them. So if them yellow bananas that you eat, have you ever thought about it? Bananas don't got seeds. The real bananas got seeds in the middle. Wild bananas. Everything we've been eating since children, most of it been, we just finding out the one or two things here and there that's genetically modified, and it's everything. They even got genetically modified humans. What I'm saying is children tomorrow ain't gonna know what the real world look like, just like we don't. We don't know what the world looked like when the ancestors was here thriving in antiquity before all the corruption. So we starting to see glimpses of what this oasis was. But by the time the children get our age, them glimpses gonna be gone. They gonna die with us. Ain't gonna be no more remembrance or visions of what this place looked like. It's so altered now.
That's facts too, because they even got genetically modified weather, as we all know. And I just saw a thread with like 15 different movies in the kids' movies with the chemtrails in the sky on the kids' movies to make it normal.
Some Gwen towers. They use them Gwen towers, and they also use them Doppler radars. All of those is weapons.
So the kids are going to think the chemtrails are real clouds.
I don't know if
Man,
most people know not.
somebody said all the weather we've been receiving since the 50s been genetically created. They
I
said
believe.
they said we stopped getting real weather patterns in like the 40s or the 50s after World War II. They fucked up the real weather patterns and had to recreate the weather. And when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I did research on that, and I found out that the space programs are the fucking weather creation programs. So if you look at when NASA started, it was around the time of World War II when they said they fucked up the weather patterns. You know, they was launching shit up in the sky and doing all that. And they saying that that's the reason they able to come. See what happened after World War II? They came with the TV. And after that, you had a newsman that was able to do what? Predict the weather. And people say, well, yeah, that's strange that they can tell you, man, a hurricane is about to make a 90-degree angle in 1 hour. Somebody got a remote control around this motherfucker. Cause ain't no way you should be able to make in them specific. Nature don't make no 90-degree motherfucking turns like that. So it's a lot of truth to you know what people saying, man.
There's a group of patents on hurricane control too.
Yeah, they said they got the biological warfare going on where like they'll spray the chemtrails over here, right? But the chemicals really is floating somewhere else to create something, a whole different atmosphere in a whole nother region. So when you see them chemtrails above you, they're timed to float 3 days away, and then they activate. It's like kind of deep with that shit.
Yeah, they call them cloud machines. And one of the first ones was built in Memphis. And don't you know when they fired that motherfucker up, that's what caused that flooding down there? These people are able to put up tons, hundreds of thousands of tons of water above your head in a matter of minutes. Because guess what, people? It's two ways you can transport water. If they wanted to flood an area, it'll be stupid to fill up airplanes with water and drop it on there. But you can motherfucking make steam clouds on the ground in certain areas, like the brother said, and they'll follow. You can even steer those currents, and you can drop hundreds of thousands of tons of water down on people in a specific area with these cloud making machines. And that's because you're transporting the water through the cloud, through making it steam. But once that shit, it got to drop somewhere, and they time it, they know exactly how much steam to put up and how to make it travel and all that, so it'll drop at a certain area, and that area will be flooded out in no time. And it happened in the South near one of the biggest cloud making machines down there in the Delta area. I did a bunch of videos on that, the Harvey Stennis connection, the weather, you know what I'm saying, the cloud making machines that they calling rocket engine testers, but these things are making weather.
Yeah, they got a big one in Mississippi, man. That motherfucker huge. And when it cut on, man, they can make it rain. They got a video on it, actually.
Yeah, I got an article up right now in China talking about a man in China made a rainmaking machine back in 2018, but this just goes to show, I mean, they went from global warming to climate change. They just switching up the narrative. Said like back in the 50s and maybe even before, they already had these machines, but now they coming out to the public with it. You know what I'm saying? They would do stuff for so long, then they'd come out with it just for the fact, like, we know they been had cell phones back in the days, but then and now they actually came out with cell phones for us. You know what I'm saying? It's like they say what the government or whoever it is, they got the technology that's like 50 years ahead from where we at right now.
Yeah, they wanted to bring out all this technology in the 40s, but Hitler set them back. That is a fact, man, that they've been ahead of us. But the thing is, everything that we call a technological advancement or them giving us new technology is basically them creating their own timeline of enlightenment. You know what I mean? So it's like when they gave us the Nintendo, they already had the Xbox. But you know, it's I say this all the time. If they would have gave you the Xbox in them days, then they would have been giving you some shit so advanced. Now it would have put us too quick into the future. When you realize that technological advancements is synonymous with time itself, you'll see what I'm saying. So when you talk about that movie called Back to the Future, what separated the timeline? The technological achievements. So when we talk about where are we into the future? Well, you don't see flying cars yet. Well, they already got them. They've been had them. So we so far into the future, but they keeping the mainstream society in the past by spoon feeding the technology to one generation may get the iPhone, then the next generation will get the shit that go right on your brain. You know, they using this technology to prime you for something. This is a warfare because the technology is to turn you to their robot and to create their virtual reality at the same time, controlling time through false technological advancements by telling you, hey, we moving forward. They have shows, they pop champagne. The creators at Google and Macintosh get together, they drink, they say, hey guys, we have arrived to the point in time now where you can pick up a phone and watch TED Talks, you'll see it. So these people are controlling time through technology, and they telling you what time it is because look, you got the 5G technology now, step your game up. This is where we are now, where we're moving. And when they get everybody consent where we going into the future, we create this reality with them. These are the controllers, and this is why the kids got a better connection to this fake world than the parents, because like most of the kids now getting iPhones and shit when they 12, 13. When we was that age, we was just on some Nintendo Mario shit, falling in the hole. And they separating the generations by technology. Now you look at what the ancestors did, they technological advances never changed. Why? Because they had reached the highest levels of technological feats you can reach, and they expressed the same forms of technology we expressed in antiquity. You see what I'm saying? So they had blimps, planes, aircraft, all of that back then. But the thing is now, just so I can pass the mic and be brief here. When you think about what I'm telling you, the ancestors' society, their technological advancements in science connected all of the generations together, the children with the elders, and everyone was connected, but today is different. The technology separate us by generations. Like your grandma don't know how to work Facebook or the iPhone or, shit. They separate and they control time, basically. They shape your world by the things you interact with on a day-to-day basis. And you look at most of us, we looking down at phones, and what we doing in them is living our reality in different apps, different virtual worlds, or you know what I'm saying, social media and shit. That's why every now and then I unplug, but I don't want to go too long on a big ramble, but just talking where we going into the future is AI, virtual reality, filtered worlds over this.
Exactly. That's why they staring us. Hey, you can go ahead right here though. But it's exactly what you're saying. That's why they're giving us them virtual reality goggles, right? Where you in a whole another reality with something on your face. They trying to train our brain for that virtual and them holograms and all that, where like your computer screen gonna be in thin air, this, that, and the third. That's why they giving us them virtual reality goggles. Well, the next generation, I mean. But go ahead, my fault.
Man, then that they got a virtuality simulation for quarterbacks in the NFL now, where the quarterbacks go through the virtual training and it increases the efficiency of the quarterback. And every quarterback do it, it raises their ratings. So it's like they almost getting to the point of where they programming us like computers.
But you know what? That's a lie right there. And what they trying to do, they're trying to push this virtual reality technology through the football players. Like, for example, they'll use one of these football players to tell you Frosted Flakes are good for you. And if you eat Frosted Flakes, you can jump high and slam dunk like me. But you know that shit is a bowl of sugar that ain't good for your children. So they using them they using them the same way with this virtual shit order. This shit make the quarterback better. Want me to tell you, it don't make them better because it's not a live motherfucking training situation, and the virtual reality don't respond to the quarterback how a real life situation would. So that they're debunk that, and the fact that they making the league so where you can't even hit the quarterback is gonna be virtual. They don't want. They trying to say it's too many injuries. We can't hit that hard. We got to find a way to make this safe, and before you know it, it's gonna be a virtual NFL where you don't really got to be good. You just got to know how to control your avatar to get in the league.
Exactly. I think that's what they're going to. You hit it right on the head, then, bro. They're gonna go to where they you sitting the team sitting on the sideline and they playing with robot avatars on the field.
They showed us this in movies, man. And when we see this shit in movies, Jerome, they just telling us how the fuck they thinking. Why that thought on your mind if you don't want to manifest it?
Look at Avatar. Dude was paralyzed, man. He was controlling a whole robot.
You're breaking up real bad.
And let me give a shout out to the brother Cook Carter real quick. Let me slide in and show some love to the people support. Shout out to everybody for the super chat donations. LaShawn Thomas and my brother Cook Carter, man. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead, my brother Jay Andy, you got it.
Well, I was just to chime in when he's getting set up there. I walked in on my brother watching some sports channel or something, and the new thing that they're doing is drone racing. I just thought that was ridiculous. But you've got to wonder if they're not getting people ready to go fight in these wars, and just like they're doing the QB training with virtual reality. I wonder if they're doing the same thing with immersive army field or battlefield training.
I was about to say that. I had seen a news article, I watched the news, and they was talking about how the kids be playing like Call of Duty and Fortnite and stuff, and then now they about to start enlisting them in the military and have them start doing virtual stuff so they can actually be using droids and shit like that to actually do the wars for them.
That's how they did when I was in the Air Force. I was in the infantry, and we had to attend part of our tech school every day. You had to go to a virtual training class course. And it was so fun to us. We looked forward to it because it was like being inside of 007. One of my favorite Nintendo 64 games was GoldenEye 007. And I'm going to tell you something. It's because, and you know what made that game a classic? It was one of the first person games where it put you in the face of the shooter and all you see is the gun in the hand. You see? It was psychological what made that game fire. And that is what they trying to go into. That was one of the first models of this. I'm going to tell you, when I was in the Air Force, we went inside of a room and in front of us was like a huge theater screen. And you get on this thing with a fake gun and there's people popping up. And you got to train and not shoot the real people, and shoot the terrorists. And you got to do it in an amount of seconds. And, they say it's a good, safe way to practice it. But at the same time, with everything they give you, it's an agenda to it. So one of the agendas that I found from the virtual training, because you can easily train in the field, which would be greater, because if you sending these guys over to fight a war, the best training they going to get in the field, not in the air-conditioned room playing a video game. Put them in the sun, let it bake them, let the sweat beads roll down their ass, and see how they work under pressure in the grass with the ants crawling on them. See, that's why I don't agree with the virtual shit. So what is that training all about? It's because they ain't gonna need soldiers in the field no more. And I'm gonna tell you why I know that. The drones gonna replace the soldiers, and they gonna need soldiers in them rooms like they had us controlling drones. Imagine big old stadiums room full of soldiers, each one controlling a drone. That'll reap havoc. That'll reap havoc on a nation.
When I was a kid, I read this book called Ender's Game, and it was really interesting. They were basically training this whole time for battle, and then one of their training sessions they completed and they won, and then afterwards they're like, "Hey, congrats! That was actually real, and you beat the other army." And so I wonder if that's what's going to happen, where they have these simulation training exercises that are actually controlling drones that are out killing the enemy, and the people don't even know or have the moral repercussion of slaughtering somebody.
Look, Tim, what psyop they just ran on us? They just shot a drone out the air that was out of his airspace, right? They're trying to bring the drones into our reality, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, they saying, hey man, in 2020, your pizza delivery gonna come from a drone. You know, and that's gonna clear up
Amazon shipments. Yeah,
it's gonna come through drones. And you think about it, that's the pelican with the damn baby in his mouth flying above. But the thing is this right here. You talk about the virtual training that they giving these soldiers. The main benefit that they get is it takes away the emotion. See, if you got a soldier running a virtual reality and he ain't literally there pulling the trigger, it's easy to kill because we did it in video games. So when they do that to you, it takes the emotion. It's easy for me to press A, B, and B and drop a bomb than it is for me to just drop that bomb. So them taking the human and sinking them to the virtual reality is taking the emotion out of it. Because one of the things they teach in the military that'll get a soldier killed is his emotion. They tell you that you don't want your emotions in the way in a combat situation. So with that, if that's their philosophy, then you know they want to create an emotionless soldier. Someone that ain't going to question. They just going to shoot you, whether it's a baby or a woman. Because if you didn't notice for example, what's going on in Syria right now, Syria don't got no army. I don't know if y'all know that. They never had an army. The people they bombing in Syria are citizens as I speak. And the thing about it is the soldiers that's doing it, they ain't really got an emotional element to what they doing, and you can't really blame them. Well, you can't blame them, but it makes it so easy. All you got to do is fly over and press a button. You know, that's really, you did that in the video game. Most of these people in the military played military video games, and they did the same shit in the video game. It was the same, the screen looked the same. And the Air Force, guess what? They use Xbox controllers to drop the bomb. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I didn't know it, but it makes sense because they're already trained to use them, from their childhood. I wonder when they're going to turn the drones on us.
They said a lot of those controllers are modeled from off the Xbox controller. So think about that.
And they say that's what the tournament is for. Like if you win like dude was just saying, if you win a Call of Duty tournament, you recruited. They right there. Now if you go back to like 2005 or whatever, when they was in them spacecrafts or whatever, and they was shooting that stuff, it looked just like a video game. You didn't see the real thing. You had the infrared vision or whatever they had going on.
They could put a Snapchat filter on it or something to make it look like it's a video game.
Hey, not only that, they got drones now for police officer drones in cities, just monitoring for crimes and stuff and for suspicious individuals.
Right out of the Minority Report, right? Right.
It reads your face, and if you want it, something like that, it can report you. And it's wrong, bro.
Now, guess where they start to give you the creeps at? Now, think of everything we saying about drone technology and how creepy this shit is, right? And think about what I'm about to tell you now. The drone technology has advanced, and now they got drones so small it can be a fly. Y'all listen. They got fishes in the ocean that ain't even fishes. They swimming drones in the swarm.
That's right.
I'm serious.
Yeah, they call MAVs and shit. Now they even got swarms of mosquitoes they are released in like a ops area just to photograph and everything, where it's like a swarm of mosquitoes, right? They go through a whole area. We talking 2-3 miles, and it records everything. But all the mosquitoes is drones. This the new shit. They got the shit look like birds, with a bird to fly up on a power line, right? It'll focus in on the op on the face recognition. The op pull off. The drone flies off and follow that car. These motherfuckers are so deep with it, it's starting to get insane. It's too deep now. They got dogs that's robots. They got exoskeleton suits, man, that you can lift the front of a car up. Everybody on this
I
panel.
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that, bro. You can put the suit on and be able to achieve things you wouldn't normally achieve. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell them about that one. And the invisible suits. Oh, they already achieve invisible technology where a nigga can be standing right in front of you and you don't know it. Say what, JT?
I say that's that Harry Potter, man. They always put it in the movies before they put it, you know. When you see it in the movies, 9 times out of 10 is real. And that movie Harry Potter, he had a cloth like that he could drape over himself, and you couldn't even see him in front of you.
Yeah,
Oh, and I'm sure they have planes they can fly overhead that you wouldn't even notice.
And they showed us in Predator, man. You remember the movie Predator back in the day. And he just blended in with everything, like you couldn't see him with a naked eye.
Yo, Predator had on one of them suits back then before Harry Potter, because his suit would do the same shit, that little blanket, they call it a cloaking, some kind of cloaking blanket. You right, Harry Potter showed us that shit, and Predator showed us that shit, because his shit it didn't just go invisible. It kind of like blended in with like a chameleon or some shit. That's what they shit do. It reflect the image behind it. Like, it's weird. They explain it. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and put in new technology, invisible blanket or cloaking blanket, and watch, and they try to explain it without giving you all the mother, you know, they ain't gonna never spill all the beans behind the technology, but you know.
They basically say the suit bend the light, so it bend the light to make your eyes see something like sort of like a mirage, basically, where it bend the light, everything around it, and then it, you know.
They say it got like so many hundreds of thousand cameras on it, little tiny micro cameras, and the cameras record the scene and it flips it and show you what it, you know, the cameras record. So you know, that's what I read about that shit.
And I'm gonna tell you something else too. In addition to everything we talking now, we can't forget about the 5G grid, which is gonna be part of this new world order control grid, because with the 5G towers can target individuals, and they can target crowded areas, they can target a selected individual, or they can target a region. And what they can do, they can send certain frequencies into a certain individual's area or group, and they can change behavior, cause depression, cause suicide, weird acting out, like some of these people that go crazy and the police have to shoot them up. And the family be like, well, he never acted like that. I don't know, you know they never know what makes they got the technology now with the 5G grid. One thing about these towers is that's another thing they can do. We know they're harmful in the area, but these things can target individuals and regions with certain frequencies and control you on some real, you know, sci-fi, some movie type shit. And then, yeah, go ahead.
Even the animals, like when we see the shark attacks and stuff like that, I ain't saying sharks don't attack, but it ain't too far-fetched. If they can do it to humans, they can do it to animals too. Shoot vibration, change the behavior of the animal, make the animal more aggressive.
Shit, or even a Bird Box movie. when the whole city saw something and they just started flipping out on everybody, they can really be that advanced where they can target it a certain area where not to that degree, but everybody just arguing with their girl or everybody just in a bad mood. Or then they can test it out on everybody in that particular area is happy. And they like, well, okay, we controlling their feelings. And once they understand, I don't even know who they could be, but once it understand it can control our feelings and we act off emotions, they can control what's going on. They can make everybody mad as hell they gotta go to work. They can make everybody happy that they gotta go to work and happy that they got a job. I'm just speculating they probably can't. I'm just free thinking with it, but that's weird if they can control thoughts just off the air. I mean, or off the frequency or the sound.
Everything.
Yeah, they can make us all love Big Brother and pay 80% tax.
Yeah, they can do that, man. And it's because everything is electric. It's because you're electric. Your feelings and emotions are electric. And they can target that frequency with a vibration that's opposite to it and cause certain areas to go under depression and shit like that. Now, I don't think they using it yet, but I think they priming us to a point where we ain't gonna be pushed beyond, and we're gonna need a kind of a ass kicking to get over the hump. And they're gonna come out with all kind of military force. You know, the police has got the shit the military got, and they supposed to be protecting and serving. You know, a lot of police, they gonna be coming out now with these microwave guns on top of the police cruiser, on top of the military cruisers. Why do they need this kind of advanced technology to create massive depth? See, because with the microwave beam, what can happen is, think of a light bulb. When a light shines, anything in that radius of that beam gonna be illuminated. And that triangle get wider and wider the further you away from the light. So we talking about if they can shoot a microwave beam from a point like that into a crowd, we talking about if you got hundreds of thousands of people, just speaking, I'm just saying, just say you got something like 1,000,000-man march, you can destroy everybody out there in less than 15 minutes with the microwave shit. Because once it hits you, that's it. You cooked from the inside out, just like food in the microwave. It ain't no surface shit. It interacts with something in you. Like how when you put a boiler in a microwave and the metal interact with the electricity in the microwave and it blow up, that's what happened to you when they shoot this shit. Because we got electricity in us and they kind of explode us because you already like a controlled explosion. You electric as fuck. You know what I'm saying? What they do, they kind of shoot. This microwave technology is some monstrous shit. That's why I always bring it up, because whoever thought of that is an evil motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? When you start, yeah.
They got this game called Command and Conquer. It's real old. It's on the computer, and they actually got that tank. There's a tank. No, actually, matter of fact, you got the GDI, and then you got NOD. And on the NOD side, the infantry, they have a infantry that uses a weapon like that. And for the GDI, which is America, they use a tank that uses that technology. And this game is very old, bro. Like, this game came out when I was a child, bro. And that weather machine, they got the weather machine on there too. And when you play campaign mode, they go through it's a mission where Einstein, you basically got to run in there and stop Einstein from starting this weather machine. But it's like a mass weapon of destruction for the game. It's like one of the it's like they power weapon other than the ion cannon. You know what I'm saying? But it's old. They got that.
What they do is they take that 5G, like the 5G. They say that's the technology that the 5G is. They say each tower, if they cut it up, it could be like a small nuclear bomb because of the microwaves that it would emit. So they also weapons in that aspect. And see, I'm in radiology and I'm an X-ray tech. And what it does when that microwave hits your system, it hits your, it interacts with your cells, makes them move, vibrate real fast. Well, we already know that vibration is heat. You know, friction is heat. So once your cells start vibrating real fast, it heats up. That's why you go in radiology and in the hospital is always way colder than anywhere else in the hospital, because they have to keep them big X-ray machines, the CT machines, which uses X-ray. They have to keep them cold. So when you go out there and they shoot that microwave gun at you, it just excites the cell in your body, and they move. The electrons move fast, and they rub against each other, and that's how it cooks you inside.
Now, brother, I'm glad you brought that up. Now, tell them why you got to be a sick, evil motherfucker to be thinking like that, because you got to be smart, and then tell them what that would feel like. Go into, because you do the medical shit. You just broke all that down. I know that this some monster shit, but what you would feel, my nigga, like, I can't explain that shit, but you see it, food in a microwave, right? You say where the heat is coming from. Is like the radiation is all engulfed in it, the food is engulfed in this radioactive sea, and it's being excited, like he just said, this molecular cellular structure of the food being excited and vibrated, and it heats it up for you. So now he just told you that scientific process, but on a human level. So I think I would be safe to say that's fucking with your nervous system from the inside out, cooking your ass. That'll be like motherfucking having just the most, think of a huge volt of electricity flow through you. See,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. If you're not flesh, man, if it's not flesh or something that was alive or something, the microwave won't heat it up. Like if you put a bowl in a microwave, take the bowl out, the bowl not gonna be hot. What's inside the bowl is gonna be hot. Now what it does is it goes inside of whatever the energy or whatever the organism, and it heats its way out. And that's how you get a cool bowl but a hot oatmeal, or a cool bowl but a hot piece of steak. It's because it attacks the organism, the plastic and all that. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good example.
Yeah, that's why bowls don't heat up, because they don't have electrons in them. You know, they not electric, like Bro Sanchez said, we are electric than a motherfucker, which is true. And when it reacts with that, that's what heats us up. You know, it just like excites you and electrocutes you from the inside out, and basically just cooks you. So that's what you do when you put stuff in the microwave. And that's what radiation is when you go, and what they do is they shoot that radiation at a plate, and when it hits, it bounces off, and those are the X-rays. And when they hit you, they just go through your body, and it can't go through. The most solid you are, the less it goes through. That's how they get the image on the plate.
Right, it's energy heat. This is why you can heat something up in a microwave, and in 10 minutes it be back cold. But if you heated it up on a stove,
it lasts longer. You're right.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I've never trusted those microwave ovens. I wonder if they didn't put those into our houses in order to hurt us. You know, make us.
They call council. Benestats. When I was little, they were saying that. It's microwaves, bro. It's basically radiation, X-rays.
Everything they do is an act of war, man, even down to the way our food is prepared being that microwave. And you know what's crazy about what we saying? If you ever looked at lightning strike victims, they'll have the pattern of that lightning strike on their body like a permanent tattoo. Have y'all ever saw it? I can show you pictures.
Yep. You ever see where they use the wood and they burn it with the electric and they make the different patterns through the wood and they use it for like art?
Never saw it. Sounds
check it out. They just put nails in it and wrap the cables around the nails and cut the electricity on, and the way it flow through the wood is the pathways through the wood, and it like makes like almost like trees. The patterns it burns into the wood. It's crazy.
Like veins, huh?
Yeah, like veins. That's what it looked like, veins.
Yeah, this shit's crazy because we was talking about how, like, you know, the electricity fucks with you from the inside out. And I thought about these lightning strikes on these people, right? I'm gonna try to share it with the people. This shit's weird, right?
Hey, bro. One thing you might want to research that's fire too that you would can incorporate in what you do is that MRIs, man. MRIs they don't use radiation; they use electromagnetism. So when you get your image from an MRI, you get it from electromagnetism. And I know, man, if you research that, man, you can link up some things with that. You'll learn a lot.
I will. I'm gonna definitely do it. You know, I'm gonna be on it. I want y'all to check this shit out real quick, right? Like how this dude here, for example, was struck by lightning and got this pattern on his arm. It's the pattern on their arm, the pattern of the lightning strike that struck him. Because if that's so, that's some weird shit, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the same type of pattern that be in the wood I was just talking about, bro.
Hey, what they tell you when you low on energy and all that, you gotta get your electrolytes up and antioxidants to get the extra electrolytes out.
Yeah, they also call it getting amped up, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. So now we see what they're talking about with electrolytes. And you only can get that shit really through like electrical foods or liquids and shit. So basically, you only could get this shit from shit that grew up under the sun. You understand what I'm telling you? Like to get electrolytes, you gotta like dig into them fruits and vegetables and all that. When them photosynthesis was growing that crop. You understand? The meat, you only getting a bit of the electrolytes because that you getting the electrolytes of what that animal ate instead of the actual source of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me give a shout out to everybody on the panel. And I see you out there, Brandon. And I'm going to bring up something now and kind of switch gears too. Last show we was talking about human origins. And, you know, I was shocked to find that a lot of people, especially flat earth people, kind of still have this you know, black people was first type thing, and that the other races are synthetic, hybrids, all of that. So let's open that controversial can of worms and ruffle some feathers out there. And let's continue that bill. I know a lot of people in the chat was part of that stream. If you want to hop on. We gon' because I know this one gonna get lit. But
great topic because it addresses two important questions: who are we and why are we here?
Exactly.
So I'm glad we talked about it.
And did we all come through one race, one, you know, or what, you know? See, that's what stops the divisiveness and shit. That's what that question right there. I didn't find that a lot of people was very sensitive about it, and the questions that's scientific that we're sensitive about is the foundation of religions and shit. Like they use that to divide us. Everybody's sensitive about life and death. So everybody who believe this what happened, we're gonna form a group over here and go against that group. And when you bring up like, well, who believe what happened, how the humans were created, we become divisive and divide in groups. Well, I believe I was first, and well, I believe I was first. Well, I believe, and the thing is, I'm saying it's a psychology over the world that, you know, it's interesting for me in a weird way to just, now that I'm on the other side looking out, it's like, damn, like I was there too. It's emotional too. I call it the line leader mentality. So who was first? I say, are all races created equally? Are we all one human race? Or is there a superior race? And people bring up, well, black people, look at the NFL. We the number one people in the NFL. We the number one people in the NBA. And my argument is, you know, these are shallow things to point out to show a superior race.
Yeah, Dr. King called it the drum major instinct in that great speech.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My thing would be the reason you win. But now here's got a question for me. Did we all come from the North Pole? Now, if we all came from the North Pole, right, was all the races coming from the North Pole? Or did none of us come from the North Pole, and we got to get to the North Pole, and the races come from the regions we was habitated in. You know what I'm
I
saying?
That's
I
good. That's deep.
I, I think I think just like a ripple effect, if you drop a rock into the water, none of the ripples on the outside can go back to the middle. They just vanish away once they reach a certain area away from the middle. They become a big ass ripple and they become back one with just the sea. So what I'm saying is like if I look at this shit like a ripple effect, I would say it all started at the North Pole and then spread it out with just like that. And you know what I do think happens though? I think that journeying back to the North Pole is unlocking the secrets of this whole place. You know, like looking up under the car engine, seeing how it worked. You know, some shit like that. But yeah,
I got a question real quick before this machine comes on and my background will be too loud. But do you think people's physical features have to do with their location relative to where the sun is, like the different cultures?
I can't answer that and be giving you a definitive answer. It'll be belief. I don't do the environment affect the way we look to a certain extent, I would say. Not to the extent that we've been taught, like a polar bear gets his white skin because it lived near the snow. Well, then the black bear should be green because it live in the grass around the trees. You know, so
Yeah, human origins is
Black bears live told me hibernate, and polar bears do too. But I feel like to say that somebody was first or somebody came first or originated from somebody is to call the creator dumb, man. I honestly feel like that's a slap in the face to the creator because, I mean, you look out here, you see these black birds, red birds, blue birds, green birds. You see every different color and every other species of animal on this planet, but you think he couldn't do the same with humans?
I think it's a really important question, but we're not given enough pieces to the puzzle to see the whole picture, unfortunately. But I think we can use critical thinking and get to the bottom of it. But I don't know is where I stand.
I mean, how many years we talking? If I take you and your wife, right, and I move y'all into the Arctic region, right, and y'all have 7 to 8 generations of kids, will you be blue black? No, I don't think you would be. I think your nostrils are spread open. I think you will start gathering sulfur in your skin. I think your kids will start having hair all over their body to protect themselves from the wind. But do I think we would mutate into something else? Is that would be stupid of me. Like I believe, like yeah.
No, I think it's more of, I think it boils down to something as simple as muscle memory. If your muscles do a certain thing for so long, you'll be great at it. That's why NBA players are always shooting shots because they training their muscles to have a certain form that would make the ball go in, and they don't even have to think about it because when a person like Stephen Curry takes a shot, he don't have to consciously think about it. He trained his muscles to just when his brain say shoot the ball, his body automatically takes the correct form, go up. It's like it's
memory
like
is huge. But do you think memory and muscle memory gets passed to the offspring?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting into now. See, because think about this. I'm gonna give you an example. LeBron James' son. LeBron James' son was on a YouTube video and it's viral. That shit was so long and the boy didn't miss. Now he was at the free throw line, but every fucking shot was nothing but net. He couldn't miss. The boy young as hell now. Your child can't do that. How many of y'all children can do that? See, it's because LeBron James trained his muscles for so long and his body, his physique knows what to do when his feet leave the ground and how his arms need to be formed for the ball to go in the net. Now his son gonna get that pass to him because the blood can be programmed. See,
I'm tempted to agree, but what's interesting is science would disagree with you. The mainstream science, not that that holds any weight.
No, it won't. No, it won't. No, it won't, man. You
see,
listen.
look.
Everything you learn
Here's
in
what I'm
life.
saying. Here, because look, I went through though, but let me just make this point. I'm gonna pass it right back. Um, if you look at certain people and look at their daddy, you will see they kind of got that walk or that physique like them. So LeBron James' son having his physique, his build, and all of that get passed to him. All he got to do now is be taught by his daddy how to shoot like his daddy. And you see, LeBron can't teach your child that, and it's gonna go in every time. It's that his boy body naturally can form his shot because that's his son. He walk like him, he talk like him, so he gonna take a shot like him, and it's gonna go in like him. Is what I'm saying. So we're talking muscle memory and not evolution. Is what I'm saying. When you see how, and the point that I was trying to make before we go too far off the subject is, if you take LeBron to Siberia or somewhere and he live in an Eskimo lifestyle for the rest of his life, and his generations are no longer shooting ball and they just start fishing and living an Eskimo life, the muscle memory will change and the DNA will change with a new program. And the children that the LeBron DNA will have in the future will be great at Eskimoing. But that DNA, that part of it where it was a good basketball player, it'll lay dormant in the DNA until you move one of them future generations out of the snow and back to America and say, hey man, your great granddaddy was in the NBA. Shoot this ball. Let me show you how to take a shot. You will see that even in 3 generations later, it'll naturally be good at it because that DNA will reawaken. That was muscle memory was put there. That's the only thing I want to say. You know what I mean?
I'm tempted to agree to some extent, but I do think that there's a huge benefit to having your father be LeBron James growing up. Not just the instincts that you inherit, but also just looking up to him, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, are you LeBron's son?" And just that great reverence and trying to be like your father. But kind of a different example. I'm a programmer by trade, and so is my father, and I think that gave me a big leg up. But that was just mainly due to the access that I had to computers all my life and looking up and having reverence to my father. So I think it's a little bit of both. But as far as what science would say, just because we have to keep in mind what the experts are out there telling people, I think they would say that your DNA is the same when you die as when you were born. I don't know if it's true though. I don't have a genome machine at home, unfortunately. But
And let's simplify it, Tim. Say you got 2 parents, right? None of them they uncoordinated. They can't dance at all. Could they have a child that's a perfect dancer? Here's why I say no, because your chromosomes split and it takes the information from your parents and it puts it into a child. So it's like, this is why children keep getting smarter, because everything that child learned is going to have a child. So that child is going to remember everything their parents learned, whether if they tap into it or not. So it's sort of like we got to tap into our knowledge versus learning it. This is what it revolved to. We used to have to learn how to put the block in a block, the triangle in a triangle. Now these kids just got to tap into how to move the cell phone or how to start they just got to, they don't have to learn it. They already know it, but they got to tap into it, basically. You see what I'm saying?
And I'm going to use that example you used. That's a good one. Just say you got 2 parents that's good at dancing. Now, what do they say about black people? They said we good dancers. Why? Because it's in our blood. Now, is that evolution or is it muscle memory? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If you got 2 parents that's good at dancing and them 2 parents teach the child how to dance, the child going to be even better than them at dancing. The DNA only get better and better. LeBron's son going to be breaking his records. It only going to get better and better, and his son's going to break his. At least that's how it's supposed to go. But the thing is what you said, tapping into it versus learning it. When a parent teach it to a child, the parent teaching the child how to tap into the DNA that they gave the child. Can't nobody else teach that child how to tap into that DNA other than the people that donated the blood to the child. But if the child go through, just say that your parents are great dancers, but they don't teach you. You just go to school and let some other teacher teach you. You'll still be good at it, but not as great as if your parents taught you, because it's different coming from them, because your body movements, your facial structure, your way you talk comes from each of them. So they can show you what they did using that DNA that's in you to help them. But a person without that DNA can teach you some good shit, but not like the people who donated your shit. They can't unlock your you know what I'm saying? Anybody can learn some, but I think greatness come from the parents unlocking that into the child and passing it on to them, just like we see happening in the bushes today with what we call indigenous people. The children grow up and adopt the lifestyle of the elders, and they keep passing it on in this muscle memory. Now check this out. This is where it get deep. If I take Sir newborn child to Africa and let it live in the jungle with the Bushmen, it'll grow up and be operating just like them. It'll speak their language. It'll hunt like them. You won't even know that it was an American baby till it started acting like them. You'll just notice that one looked different. But it still won't do it the same way that a baby was who came out of one of those African Bushman women. It'll teach it to your child, but the DNA in your child is Americanized, so it ain't naturally programmed to do that. But so I'm telling you, two children, right? Two newborn babies, one born from the mother in the African tribe, one they adopted from America. They'll both learn and be great, but the one born from the DNA will just it'll just, you know, it'll do those things so much greater because it got they mama was doing it, their daddy was doing it. That blood is in them. You know, you take you know, Serena and Venus Williams said that they daddy played tennis. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you how the muscles are in sync with the blood, and you know.
So let me say this right here. Okay, when you talk about muscle memory, you talk about your muscles remembering. Same way you remember a thought in your head, right?
Yeah.
So they say memory is stored in the ether because that's in the dark part of your brain, which where you pull all your ideas from and all your memories from when you access them, right? So
is that the ether? I thought the ether was the atmosphere.
Well,
but the thing is, the thing about the body works like a computer. Like, for example, we use computers a lot, so we click on mouses. Everybody know in a daytime of a human, you're gonna click on a mouse at least 200 times or more, you know. So one thing about it, what the body do, the body stop making it an action that the brain gotta control. The body basically frees the mind of that action, and since memory can be programmed in all of the cells, the hands are like brains too. You don't think about clicking the mouse with the brain anymore. The hands is on auto, they do it. And it frees the brain of it, just like a computer would take shortcuts and free itself of certain things by pushing the work onto
RAM and
so this is what I'm saying. So what you're saying is the parents and the children share that random access memory in the ether. Basically, that memory that they access and their muscles are tapping into is something that their parents stored in the ether. So basically, that's just their connection to the darkness, right?
I mean, even the involuntary shit, like you either sneeze like your mom or dad, you laugh like your mom or dad, you blink on the patterns of your mom or dad. It's certain things that's involuntary that just bred it in you. Like it's born in you. It's just you. It's a part of you. It's a thing you might do with your fingers that your dad or mom do. It's you might shrug your shoulders some kind of way. You don't even know why you doing this thing though. It's because your bloodline been doing that thing for eons. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't just you doing it. Your daddy or your mama did it. And whatever gene is stronger, that shit go all the way back. So now we talking about 10 grandfathers that y'all might cross y'all legs the same way. Cause you know what I'm saying? It's the same resurrection. But go ahead.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you tapping into something that all of you have connection to. See, it's deeper than it just being, okay, you say it's inside of you, but where is it inside of you? Can you cut me open and show me where it's at? No, you can't cut me open and show me where it's at because you can't physically access that. So it's something that's spiritual, something that's otherworldly that your family has access to. You see what I'm saying? So that connection with your parents.
What they can do, Jerome, they can look at the blood and the way that the DNA, the code of the DNA, and they can translate that into a computer code, and they can actually program a robot to make all of your movements robotically. They do it with the video games. What they'll do, when I say muscle memory, they'll take like just say Emmett Smith, and they'll take him in a room and they'll hook up these little things to his muscles, these little wires, and they'll say run after the ball. Now get tackled or catch the ball, and they program it into the game, and the player on the game moves just like that person move in real life. And they've at different levels with that technology where they can take your movements, your patterns, everything that make you can be seen in your blood, in your DNA. And that code of that can be translated into an artificial form of you that'll make the same movements, same responses, but it'll be more stiff, it'll be robotic, of course.
I disagree a little bit with that. I think that you'd have to both get the DNA and the neurons, what's stored in your brain and your spinal cord. But I think what you're saying is they watch how a body moves and then they can kind of spoof it with their graphics. So that's maybe a shortcut to not have to understand how the brain stores everything in the neurons and synapses.
Okay, listen
right quick. That's the artificial way. Now the official way is you're born with this. Listen, say you somebody, let's make it graphic so y'all can get it. Say you dig up your nose all the time, bro. You just dig up your nose, right? When you have a baby, right? You don't even have to raise that baby. You don't gotta see you dig up your nose. You'll meet your child and he got a problem with digging up his nose. He don't know why he got this problem. I'm just using a graphic digging up the nose so y'all can get a visual of what I'm saying. This person might pee in the bed, bro. This can be your son. You don't even know it's your son, bro. You're going to have the same characteristics. Not the same 100%. I'm saying there's going to be stuff about you. There's going to be stuff about the mother that's embedded into the DNA of that kid. And that kid is, like he said, muscle memory on doing the same things you and the mom was doing that produced that kid. That's how I look at it.
But how do you know that, Sir Drop? Are you just guessing based on
I don't know that. I'm trying to use common sense on like I raise kids. And, I got grandkids, right? And I see it. So I'm just going off what I see. I see how listen, Tim. I see how me and my cousin never hung together, but we got this same type of giggle. You know what I mean? And his mom got that giggle, and my dad had that giggle.
Well, did your dad and your mom know each other and share a parent?
Yeah, everybody know everything. But what I'm saying is this:
children are very impressionable based on how their parents act. And
I get that part. I'm taking that in consideration. I'm not saying that. I'm even taking that because listen, there's people There's people that's not my blood that, probably got my giggle. I'm not saying that. I'm
That's
saying,
unlikely. What I'm saying, and I'm gonna plug this in here, and you can grab it backdrop. Your children more likely to take on your ways because it's already in their DNA. Like Tim's children ain't gonna take on your ways; they're gonna take on his ways because it resonates already with their frequency. It's basically what I think you're trying to get at there.
But how do you know it's the DNA and not them idolizing their parent?
because it be parents that's not.
I'm
Let
telling
me
you,
say this
hold
right
on.
quick.
I'm telling you, it's not either or. It's both. Before we even get into the arguments of which one is it, it's both. See,
I agree.
Every child gonna idolize their parents, but see, if your children start idolizing Sir Drop, they ain't gonna do nothing but be copying that shit. His children gonna look more official because it's in their blood. Like Lil Romeo look more official copying off his dad and Master P than if your child went over there and tried to do the shit P do or say do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll sound more natural from his mouth because you used to his daddy DNA sin. I'm just telling you, we connected to our loved ones, our family by DNA, and everything we are just different pieces of people in that family tree.
Listen, my cousin had an outside child that he didn't know about. He went and fooled around with this girl. She got pregnant, left, went away, had the baby, raised the boy till he was like 13. Came out of the blue and told my cousin about it. So now he's living with my cousin. But when I went over there that first week to meet him, he had the same mannerism. He looked just like my cousin. He talked, walked, never had met my cousin, didn't even know who his daddy was. You feel what I'm saying? But he acted and talked, got the same attitude, same sense of humor and everything, bro. It was just crazy. So I know for
to keep it elementary, say the Rock, right? He had a baby. He ain't know he had a baby. That baby still gonna have that one eye thing the Rock do. He ain't gonna know why he can lift his eyebrow up like that, but it's just gonna be embedded in him. And he'll see him and they'll look at each other with the one eye and he'll be like, man, you my son, bro. Like that. And he never saw his daddy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good one like that. Cause don't nobody do that eyebrow like his daddy. So when you see the son do it, it's like, oh yeah, because he got the muscles in his face that his daddy had. He got the same, mannerism, if you will. So I'm saying that's interesting. I would like to hear what is DNA, because I don't think it's an argument on if it's DNA or not. But if Tim want to share something with us, I'm open ears, because what I'm doing right now is going by observation. I'm not I don't study blood and shit like that.
No, I'm not knocking you. I think you got a lot of good points. I'm just I've thought a lot about this, and I think it's an important issue for us to consider. For instance, if you look at how many how much data is stored in the DNA, it's about 770 megabytes. So if you think about how big a file is on your computer, 770 megabytes isn't that much. Of course, if you look at how much is stored in the brain, it's, probably more than a terabyte, maybe 10 to 100 terabytes, maybe even a couple petabytes. But the question is, how do we fill our brain with information? And I don't know if it's inherited or if it's taken in by the five senses and stored in various levels of fast access, if that makes sense. Like, you kind of stuff you don't need kind of goes back into the recesses of the brain. And I just don't know. I'm curious. I think that we do get aptitudes to things based on our parents, but it's like Dr. King says, true greatness comes by fitness. And I think that's true. I think we have to work at things, and maybe we get an aptitude from our parents. But go ahead. I think it's fascinating.
I think what DNA is their interpretation, is science interpretation of the connection that we have that they can't explain. Feel what I'm saying? We all are connected, but you most likely you share an actual direct connection with your lineage, which is your parents. So that connection that you share with them, you have the ability to go into that area wherever that our memories are being stored. You have the access, like Bro Sanchez said, that you don't have to teach them. He teach them how to tap into it. So we all to the same thing my father was. So I can tap into that, and that's what we have. We can all probably tap into each other, but it's probably easier to tap directly.
No, fuck the tap in. Let's talk about what you born with. It's sort of like, all right, say you a diabetic, right? You're more than likely to have a diabetic child. Say you a twin, right? That bloodline within every other generation is gonna have a twin. Now this no matter what, it's just gonna happen. Say you got high blood pressure, the child is gonna be born, and when they get to your age, it's gonna go through the same thing that your DNA went through, or your chromosome, or your molecular structure, or whatever we calling it. What I'm saying is, whatever you go through, bro, you're gonna spawn that. That's what you're gonna spawn. So everybody spawn their own thing, and all we can call it is memory, man, because
that's what I was
it's a recycle.
I think it's safe to say that it's memory, because it's just like what I had asked Bro Sanchez about the conversation I had with my grandfather. You know, when I was coming up, I had a lot of different experiences that I just was wondering like where they came from, and with the mystery that came behind my grandfather, when I took it to him, he said it's, you know, had to do with a glimpse. And, you know, like we're going back to the Assassin's Creed with them extracting his blood. I mean, I think it's safe to say is that it's like a memory. It's like a way of that memory transferring from vessel to vessel through them cords, especially like when you think about what Bro Sanchez was saying about with Mario and shit, how he go down tubes to go through different cords. I mean, to go to different worlds. So I'm sure that all that energy doesn't go at the same time or period. You know what I'm saying? Some of it goes other, you know what I'm saying, is dissipated or whatever. It's not useful to the nature's plan. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, y'all explaining it on a scientific level, but what about a spiritual level? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at it at a spiritual way, you know, because we all.
Well, I like science because you kind of need to prove things to me. That's all I mean by science. Like, how could you prove to me?
You can't prove that. But see, that's the problem, bro. You can't prove it. You can't prove it.
Homes. I mean, what is it really?
They tell you where it's stored. All you know is it's stored. You got access to it. Like, bro, your brain free to.
All I know is every ability I have and every piece of knowledge that I have.
But let's go back to the ether, though. I mean, it's stored at the store.
Wait, let him finish. Say what he was saying one at a
there
time.
You go.
Yeah, the DNA is ether.
I side more with the spiritual side too, because if you die, you can't cut open anything and look through the body and find emotions. You just can't do it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You have a connection to your dead ancestors. See, that's the whole point I was talking about, and that is where you pull your memory. That's where they go and get stored.
But you can do brain
children have access to that. Tim, what you was saying about everything, you know.
So I think let me phrase it a different way. When you look at a tree, you know, it grows from a little seed that dictates how it's going to grow. And the same for humans. Like, we don't really decide what our legs are going to look like or what our arm and our head is going to be shaped like. But as far as knowledge, you know, you have to read things in books or watch a video or hear somebody explain it to you. I have never learned something and just been like, oh, well, I already knew that, except for maybe how my heart beats.
None of us are implying that that's the way DNA works. Let me show you what I mean. Let's take Asians, for example. Why are they the world's leading martial artists? Because it's in their DNA. And I'm going to show you why. Now, you could be born in Asia as a Chinese boy. Hold on, Chaos, can you mute your mic for just 1 second? Yeah, see, my brother, Imagine. Can you mute your mic for 1 second? Yeah, I'm making this point and we're going to pass it around. Just say, Tim, you were born in China, land of martial arts, but you never went to a dojo. Then you won't know martial arts, but it's in your DNA. If you go to the dojo, you will pick it up quick. You'll pick it up quicker than the average person if you want to know it, because you can be an Asian and somebody can be making you go to the dojo and you really don't want to be there. You'll learn it, but it won't be like the person that want to be there. All these rules still apply about personal will, individual greatness, and all that. But who you are and the obstacles you're gonna have to overcome are gonna be a direct result of your DNA. Is your story unfolding? A
A
lot of
partial result of it,
yeah,
and your nurture and experience.
Now
true.
think about what he just said as far as in relation with my grandfather being a Mason. And I'm very rebellious to, like, even when I was coming up, like, it was certain stuff that I just didn't agree with once I started learning. And that's when Bro Sanchez, that it has something to do with your spiritual quest. That's when I definitely agree with that, because, you know, with my mom telling me that the doctors was going to abort me and all of that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then it can't be nature. Like you say, nature don't make mistakes, man. Nature got the whole thing. She know how to know how to do what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? It has an agenda, and it's gonna fulfill it regardless of
And you
what
know
we try to
what?
do.
And that's you. That nature is netta. It's the net around your body, the macro body. That's what knows what it's doing, your higher self. See, you said you wanted to take this to a spiritual level. Let me plug this in and I'm going to pass the mic. The soul chose the parents and the race and the body and the skin that it wanted to choose to just complete whatever assignment it was trying to complete. Meaning you could have been a white man if you're black, and you could have been an Asian man if you're white. Based upon whatever mission your soul wanted to carry out, it chose the DNA and the family and the location it needed to be and a bloodline it needed to go through to create to complete its assignment. That's how you get to be a black man or a white man or all that. If I tell every one of y'all, let's go to war right now, and everybody, we got Hummers over here, we got tanks over there, jets over there, we got regular Jeeps over there. Everybody will choose a different vehicle based upon their assignment. If I tell you I want you to drop a bomb, you ain't gonna run to the Humvee. You gonna choose the plane. So that the same thing from the ethereal realm. I think the spirit just look at these bodies like, okay, which one do I need to choose to get this mission complete? Should I be one of them, one? Oh, I think if I go through this one, I could complete that good. Boom. Now that's just me going into belief and just, what makes us from a spiritual level to a physical level.
Peace to the pod, peace to the panel. I just want to chime in. First thing I would like to talk about is if you ever look at the music industry, there's a lot of kids that joined the music industry, and I believe it was passed down from their parents. That's just my belief system.
Just to clarify,
Also,
you're talking passed down genetically or a combination of genetically and upbringing?
Both. Also, when you go to the doctors, they ask you certain questions. Hey, does high blood pressure run in your family? They asking you these questions for a reason, because they know that they can trace it from somewhere. So that's something I just believe.
Hey man, they ran a blood test on me, right? Them motherfuckers came out looking at me like I was God himself, bro. I don't know how rich my blood was. I don't know what they saw, but the doctor came out looking astonished. It's like, just staring at me. I'm like, man, why are you staring at me, bro? Then they got to asking me some questions and shit. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, this blood different. This blood ain't, this that blood for real. I can't sell my blood. This shit costs more than other people. It costs more than other people's blood, bro. But go ahead.
Yeah,
can I chime in? Wait,
yeah.
Can I say what I think DNA is? Well, if we look at the numerology, DNA, it all adds up to 6. So I think it's like a hex. There's like a number 6. It's a spiral, and a hexagon has like 6 sides. So we're that black widow, coming out of that DNA storage from the black sun. And
sorry to cut you off. How does it add up to 6? I just pulled up a numerology
DNA. Yeah, it's D. 4 is D. Then 18 is.
N is 14.
Sorry, what is it?
D is the 4th letter. N is the 14th.
D is 4/10.
A is the first letter.
DNA. No, well, what does the N add to?
14, and if you reduce it, 5.
5, okay, and then we got the A is the 1,
1.
so it's 6.
I don't know how
I
you.
think he's saying I think he's saying 6-6 though. I think it go 4-2-4-2 or some shit like that.
Let me tell
So
you.
you said the D
Let me
is
tell
what?
me
The
tell
D
you. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. This shit is funny. I'm gonna tell you why, because I know where the brother get the sits from, and that's deception. And see what Tim doing is challenging him on it, because I was under. See, here's how the whole sits theory got out there. That came along with the reincarnation matrix talk, saying that you could get locked in here through the curse of the DNA and the body and shit. So people start saying that DNA is the mark of the beast, and the mark of the beast is 666. They didn't say that the alphabets equal out to 666. They said that DNA is the mark of the beast, which is 666. So that's how that whole confusion got out there. I'm just helping the brother out. I know what he get there from.
Revelation 13:18. It says, "Let him who hath understanding calculate the number of the beast, which is also the number of the man, which is 603
Yeah, I get 6 from that. I added up to 6. Yeah.
Well, you might have made a mistake though. Can you help me out?
I probably made a mistake. Yeah, I mean I got A B C D E F G H I J K L M N. That's 18. That's 9. That equals up to 19. So I added up to 10, and then I just singled out to 1.
No,
added it to the A is 1.
it add up to
Hold
9.
on, wait. I just added up DNA and I got 10.
Okay.
So
well, I singled out the N to a 10. I singled out the N to a 10. 1 plus 9, or is it 18?
1 plus 4.
1 plus 4.
It's N is the 14th letter. If you're talking English.
I do my numerology different. So.
Okay. I got 9.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't think the numerology.
Okay, then we can turn that upside down then.
Yes, I don't think the numerology gonna come out right, because I'm telling you that the DNA is the mark of the beast. You know, I see what you because you're gonna try to look up the numerology for the alphabet's DNA, but instead the number 666 is the number of the beast. And they call the beast the system. The programming is in the DNA. That's why we were talking about muscle memory and shit. So they basically saying you gotta break the hex of your parents. Like if you're a crack baby, you gonna grow up addicted to crack. You gotta break that curse in your DNA that your parents passed, basically.
Yeah. Well, let's let Clevin continue, because I cut him off real early, but I think he had some other gems.
Can I
add something real quick about the 6 and the 9?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, man.
Go ahead.
I haven't heard anyone talk about it on this channel before. When it comes to the 666, if you add those up and reduce it, it equals 9. And 9 is the number of human consciousness. If you know anything about the Fibonacci sequence and everything, 9 is pretty much the ether, the higher consciousness. And 666 is representative of the beast, which is man, which is lower consciousness. I don't know if anyone is aware of that.
Right, every 3 letters go to 3, 6, or 9. Yeah, like every 3 letters go to 3, 6, or 9. But the DNA is the number 8. That's the whole thing. The DNA is the spiral of life, like the 8, the hourglass, the DNA, the chromosome, anything they try to use that try to replicate the creator, it's gonna be like an hourglass or a number 8. But go ahead.
Yeah, because the way I see it is 9 is higher.
Okay, wait, can I drop something fast? Yeah, also on that number 8, there's you can fit 3 6s in there. Just like a circuit 6.
No, a 6 and a 9, if you put them together with the yin and the yang, it make a number 8. Now the 3, 6, and 9 is what every triple number come to when you go through 1 through 9. So like if I say 3 1s, it's like a 3. If I say 3 2s, it's a 6. If I say 3 3s, it's a 9. If I say 3 6s, it's an 18. But 8 plus 1 is what? 9. If I say 3 5s, it's 15. 5 plus 1 is what? 6. If I say, you see how that go? 3 7s, 21. 2 plus 1 is 3.
Okay,
So
okay, I got it. I see.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's how you do.
Yeah,
That's how you do in numerology. You add all the digits to one single number, and you go with the energy of that number. Because it's on when you deal with numerology, it's only like what I think is up to what number 9 that's expressed with really numerology meaning, and after that, it ain't really not. All the other numbers just pretty much mean repetition. 10, 11, 12. When you look at numerology though, all of these numbers can be reduced to a single number, and these single numbers that hold the powers and shit. That's why they only repeat themselves when you go up higher. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, after 9. Oh, my bad, bro.
yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
I mean, all the way to 11.
10, then the 10 is just a 1, and then you get 11, which is 2, and you get 12, which is 3, and then you get back
all
to
the way
18, which is 9. Then you go back to 1, and you keep going to 9. Like you just keep reducing. It's always 1 through 9, 1 through 9, and 9 is the.
Yeah, but we can agree that 9 is also a 6, right?
Well, now see, they mean different things in numerology though. So the thing is, the 6 and the 9 are polar opposites of each other. It's like saying I got an hourglass, and the top half of the glass is the 9, and the bottom half of the glass is the 6. In numerology, if you want to go into sacred geometry with the numerology, 6 plus 9 will be 8, because they come together to make the hourglass, or 8. So the woman is the 9 and the man is the 6. That's why 6 is the number of man, and the word 9 is in the word feminine. And when the 6 and the 9 come together, they create that DNA strand, which is the hourglass, or the 8. Now that's the sacred geometrical way, how the 6 and 9 make 8. The hourglass is the hourglass is the child that's born from the 6 and 9, represented by the 8, or the spout. That hourglass mean continuous life. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Even like 9 plus 6 is 15, but when you add the 3, it still come back to the 9. But what's 9 times 6? Because I don't feel like thinking. I want to see if that got anything to do with this shit.
54.
What's 9?
54.
54, and they come back to the 9. See, that shit crazy, bro.
Well, 9 is a reflective number. That's why I said, hey, imagine you got some heavy background noise, brother. Yeah, if you want to build, though, then you can unmute, and I'll be quiet and let you go ahead and go, though, because I've been talking. But
yeah, since everything equals out to the 9, that's why I think the 9 represents the ether. And then you get feminine, and then you get the female energy, which has the word 9 in it.
Your audio ain't too good, C-Dot. Sound like you in the meat shop, and all we can hear is the grinding machines.
My bad.
I think they was able to make out what you were saying, but yeah, you're right. The 9 is a reflective number. It's the highest number. There is nothing after 9, and it is related directly to the feminine or the female. The recycling number, meaning after that, everything repeats itself through the 9. All the numbers start to change after the 9. It's the hump that you got to cross, represented by Nut. Geb would be the 6. See, when you look at Nut and Geb, you're looking at a 6 and 9 coming together to make an 8, which is Shu. And if you look at that cosmology, you'll see Shu shaped like the number 8. And Nut would be the 9, Geb would be the 6, coming together to make that number 8 I'm telling you about for life. Can y'all see what I'm saying in Kemetic cosmology?
Hell yeah, the yin and yang.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry for that tangent on gematria and numerology. I do kind of want to hear what everyone was thinking about origins and DNA and in nature versus nurture. Numerology is interesting too, but don't forget that we were talking about that.
That nature versus nurture, they got a class that they teach in college on that. And but I think with that nature versus nurturing, it can go both ways. For some people, nature is more fit than what you're trying to nurture them into being. You know what I'm saying?
Well, can wolves raise a baby? So we just put a baby in the jungle, right?
Yes, sir.
Could they raise the baby? So Tarzan is possible.
Well, I think they would see the baby as a meal.
You think that they'll see the baby as a meal?
Almost 100% sure they'll eat that baby.
So, like, what if you have to consider this though? If the wolves are already eating, and they know, let's talk about that energy, that tortoise field that's around every living person. You don't think that those wolves, especially if they come across this newborn baby that's been abandoned, you don't think that those, they might not eat the baby, but I don't think they'll kill that child.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm 100% sure they'll eat it up, man, because I'm gonna tell you just like this. Any kind of foreign flesh that come in proximity to them wolves, it don't smell like them, don't move like them, to them that's a meal. I'm just telling you how animals think. It's foreign flesh. It's foreign flesh, and it ain't running from it. That's a free meal to a wolf.
All right, now I can say this though, like, I was raising pit bulls, right? My daughter had a baby, right? That pit bull wouldn't let you come close to that baby. Man, it sat right by the bassinet, and like if somebody knocked on the door and you walk by that bassinet, oh my goodness.
Yeah, dogs different though. That's why they call dogs man best friend. Dogs are domesticated. So yeah, they different than a wolf though. A wolf is a wild dog.
Right.
But I mean,
I'm hungry. You food.
To distinct. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that one on the wolves though. But can we, bro?
I tell you what you could do. You could leave your child.
Nah.
I'm just messing with you.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
So you don't disagree with me. No, go ahead. You got it, brother.
No, I just wanted to me and my sister been sitting here. I'm trying to set up for this tattoo that I'm about to do for her, but I wanted to just chime in a little bit on Christianity. She just asked me flat out, do I not believe that Jesus is real? So can you just screen share a little bit, and just anybody on the panel with you just share a little bit of information, just decoding the existence of a particular man named Jesus Christ that walked the earth and did these miracle things and all of that?
Well, yeah, I guess we can get into that. That's gonna be hopefully it won't take up too much time with it, because we know how that can be. But let's do this. Let me get my screen share going. All right, hold on, so y'all can see it. And we all can do this together. If you know something, share it. But I'm this topic here is just redundant to me. I've taught it a lot of times, but I love to go back and share it with others, because man, if you got people believing in these gods, we should show them the origin of them, and that's where I'm gonna start right now.
Is there any Christian flat earthers? Anybody who's Christian on the panel?
Yes, and that's why I'm pulling this up now. The brother Imagine got his sister on the panel right now. She's a believer in Christ, and she want to look for she came here to see any opposing information that would challenge that. And so if you're looking at the screen now, my brother Imagine, if you and your sister can see this, we can start going in on the history of Jesus right now, starting with Serapis.
We looking
to tell her.
We following.
I'll just tell her to make it simple. Like, everything that Jesus did was symbolic. It didn't actually happen, like, historically. It's just symbolic for, like, spiritual things. But Bro Sanchez, you go a lot deeper.
Yeah. I'm a hot to, because that's the only way you're going to set them free. And I'm gonna try not to take a lot of time, because this can be 2-hour long thing about the history of Jesus. But basically, I'm gonna lead you in the right direction, sister, where you can free your own mind. So let's talk about Jesus. See, before we call this God Jesus, we called it Serapis. And I'm showing you this God now, sister, if you watching. This is the God you worship the day that you calling Jesus. But when this God was first created, he was called Serapis Christus. He was also called Horus. This was the god of Greco-Egypt. And this was a statue that the peasants was forced to worship. Now, why does he have a cup on his head? We're going to talk about that real quick. Because I already went over this to a lot of people, but, you know, the sister want to know. So this sister, if you're still watching, this is a human electromagnetic energy field. This is around, hold on, people. You're going to have to watch this on YouTube or either click on my face. You know what you got to do? You got to click on my face on the panel. You see everybody's face. Click on my eyes and you'll see the pictures.
Hey, bro, I think you're sharing the wrong screen.
I got up a picture of a human being. A human being.
You're sharing the Hangout.
Says on the Hangout it's straight black, but on the YouTube it's showing.
Oh, yeah, little problem there. Do me a favor, people on the Hangout, and maybe a little of a pest for you. Would open up another tab and open up the YouTube channel and mute the YouTube channel and see the pictures from there.
You don't have to. It just shows that she's in a corner. You know, he's been chasing you. He's been walking up on you.
Hold on. Wait. Somebody mute yourself. We're knowing your business.
All I want to say about Christianity,
you,
what I want to say about Christianity is I like a lot of what Jesus' teachings were, just according to the Bible, of course, what his teachings were. But then again, I think that it's weaponized truth. And that's what we see so often. They give a little bit of truth in order to get people to trust them and to believe the entirety. And then they slip in a bunch of stuff about how it's important to be meek and to love your oppressor and to give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to turn the other cheek when you get hit. It just seems too convenient. And if you follow the money, there's, I think, reasons why.
Bro said, go on, finish, man. We were listening, bro.
He's taking care of his pets, I think, at the moment.
Now, to me, Jesus is a psyop they've been running. Listen, Tupac, Jesus, Nipsey Hussle, Jesus, anybody, Malcolm X, Jesus, anybody that was trying to wake the people up, right? They used Jesus as an example of what they had tried to do to us, right? That's why we get death threats, this, that, and the third when we're trying to wake people up. Now, they use Jesus as a fake character. Never mind the symbolism of the sun behind him and all that. That's when you advance. We're talking elementary. You stand against us and we'll kill your motherfucking ass. That's what they teaching you in Christianity or any of that shit. You oppose us, you gonna die no matter if you great or not. This is what they teaching. And you're gonna have to hope he come back to save you. This is what they teach you. So now you waiting on somebody to come conquer something that you could have conquered when nothing is coming to save you, bro. There's no chariots, there's no sky opening. Y'all leave these people alone. If you believe that, then that means they got you. But if you believe there's people woke walking around telling people these people that's ruling over you is not the creator, then you can understand the point of Jesus. But if you looking at it as the point of I'm gonna come back and save y'all and I'm a real man, then they got you, bro. They brainwashed you. They made you overlook the point with a lie. So now you really thinking the sky gonna crack open when the sky is wide open and it's a dome over it. And ain't nothing gonna crack open, because if it crack open, let's talk about that on one stream, bro. I'm gonna pass the mic to y'all because it's off topic. But we gotta talk about if the dome literally could crack open. But y'all go ahead, because I got off topic and shit. We still on Jesus, you understand me? All right, you ain't gonna go. I keep talking about Jesus.
Right. You right on about Jesus. I think that's the main point. About the dome. What's y'all take on the Rufus Niagara? Do y'all think that's connected to the dome, like in the center? Can anyone expound about that?
No, you go ahead. You got the floor.
Well, yeah, I think that black rock in the center, right, is like the tower card from the tarot, and then this apocalypse thing happens every 250 years, or like or I don't know, like it's written in the book of Revelations, and then yeah, everything gets exposed. The nine realms, um, and yeah, we all go back to this, one consciousness, and we all come from the center, and the black sun, truth, gets becomes revealed. But that's like after like this dome enclosure thing cracks, like the tower card from the tarot. That's my take on it.
I can't even build with it, bro. You got me there. I'm gonna look into it. I can ask you this: do you think the God and devil is the same thing?
Um, probably, yeah, in a way. I mean, they both have similar characteristics. But at the end of the day, it's our consciousness that we have to deal with. And make the right choices to survive, because I don't think it's about dying. It's about living enough, and learning the truths about this reality, and that we can't accomplish that in these short lifespans. So I think it's about living a little longer, and coming to coherence with oneself. That's my take.
Hey, did you know, if you're a Bible thumper, that the Most High cast the devil, his mom, and his brother. His brother's name was Adelina. Listen, he cast all of them down to heaven, right? Adelina, Cain. Listen, Cain is literally Lucifer's son. You see how this shit working. So when you start looking into it, like what they really telling us, we start seeing the flaws in it. We start saying, okay, this shit ain't really adding up. But the people that wrote it, what was they trying to tell us? And who wrote it for real? Was it Shakespeare? Did Shakespeare really write it? Because he got his name in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? It's something like it might be Psalms or something where you count so many different words or whatever and you get Shakespeare or whatever. So if Shakespeare wrote the Bible ain't as old as we think it is. It's just generationally programming us to where we don't know if it's really that old, because the generations before us have passed away. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
they
we don't even know what timeline we're in.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is they can change the whole Bible, let us die off, and then that generation is reading a whole new text that we was reading. You see what I'm saying? So they can actually change the fucking, what they call it, the Mandela effect. They can literally change what's going on by the generation on one book and act like that's the same book. That's how we get all these different testaments. You see how it worked now?
Right.
But what are they trying to say? If you read between the lines, is my question.
I think I heard a Bro Sanchez stream about like the Bible, like the ancient mystics. It used to be like your own personal reincarnation text of so and so how many lifetimes you had, and you had to go to your guru, and he'd open your book of life and tell you what you were in your past life based on your astrological placements and prior tests you did with him personally before you died. And I'm talking
A
about there's like
guru?
golden age type stuff. A guru, or a priest, or
No,
whatever they were called,
you don't have
sages.
to go to no one but your higher self.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like to the initiates, like back when you were being initiated into this stuff, into this type of knowledge. And I'm talking these sages, they used to live, like the age of Moses, or no, not Moses. I mean, Adam and Eve, like into the 600s, 900-year olds. So like that's how I think that's how we all started, and rooted up, and cataclysms happened, and now the elite use the Bible, to keep us in this subservient state, to these, fake sages, priests and nuns.
Hey, let me ask you this on like
let
a
me say
racial
something real
type
quick.
thing.
Let me say something.
Oh,
You can
go
get
ahead.
it dropped. I apologize to all of y'all, man. My folks came through. I had to do something real quick. So to the brother, imagine if you still listening, email me and we'll do a one-on-one show, because me trying to do the whole Christ teaching thing on this panel might be too much anyway, because I got to shut down in a minute. I got a lot going on, unfortunately. Stuff just start unraveling on my ass. Y'all know how it be. But we
And for
still,
curious people, you've done lots of videos on it, right? People can probably just search your channel for Christ and
oh yeah, man, I got
educate
so
themselves.
many. Yeah, they really can though. They really can. That's a good
Hey,
point.
bro. Once they hit that his story to her story, and they see how they wrote the woman out of history, they're gonna wake up. They're gonna wonder why, like, the only scripture in the Bible is Ruth, or like the only
Yeah, but
woman they really
Hey,
talk about is Mary.
I got a whole
I think
playlist.
women wrote the Bible. That's what I'm coming
No,
to
I'm
my
telling you
conclusion with, my opinion.
that's a man-made book down to the core. You know that ain't no shit written by no woman with military strategy, wars, and all that shit. So what I'm saying is,
I mean, it could be. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could be. It's a
All right.
possibility
if
that
a
they're
woman
playing these
wrote
like
that book,
psyche tricks on us.
Well,
you'll
there's a
be
lot of things that
worshiping a
could be,
woman.
but without proof or evidence, we can't really go that way.
Oh, I'm just
You'll be
telling.
worshiping
I'm
a
just saying.
woman. I'm just
Go ahead,
saying,
bro.
if a lizard wrote that book, you'll be worshiping a lizard. If a woman wrote that book, you'll be worshiping a woman. If a man wrote it, you'll be worshiping a man. If a fucking Middle Eastern man wrote it, you're gonna be worshiping a Middle Eastern man. Now, if a white man wrote it, you're gonna worship a white man. So that's all I'm pointing out to you.
One thing that I want to point
I'm
out
gonna
to everyone
prove
is
it.
that your
Let me say
constitutional
this
rights
too.
include the right to freedom of religion and the free practice of religion. So don't just say, "Oh, I'm not religious," because you don't believe in the Christianity mainstream religion. I think everyone should make religion their own, and that buys you a lot of rights. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
That lead to leaving.
I think when people make religion their own, you get churches like Jim Jones, churches like churches that's practicing pedophilia, churches, everybody making it their own, but it's one truth. That's what I think the problem is for real.
But back to what he
I don't
was
know.
saying about the woman. If you go look at any of these Bibles, bro, bring up a scripture that a woman wrote, and I'll wait. I said that to one person, he brought up Ruth. So we don't know if Ruth a woman or not. But other than Ruth, it's John 3:16. It's all males writing. And they might talk about women, but you don't hear Mary and what Mary said.
If you look
Or
at
you don't.
if you look at how the Bible treat women and speak about women, it's demoting them like a motherfucker. It got the women,
but I mean,
it got the women cleaning feet with their hair and shit. It got the women getting stoned and shit. Like, come on.
What he
that's
tell
the
the dude? He
psychology
was
that
like, "You bring me 50 heads, you can have my daughter." He done told this lunatic, "Bring me 50 heads and you can have her." And I forget the dude's name because I don't really be all deep into it like that. But he brought back 100 heads or something like that. Like, bro, she mine. And the dad was like, "Take her then." You think I'm gonna give my daughter to somebody that just cut off 100 heads, bro?
Hey, and
You think I'm
look,
gonna be? Go ahead.
if the Bible was written by women, then the God of the Bible will have a
I
damn
don't
woman.
believe all that stuff happened though. I mean, I'm coming from like a story perspective, just to like have a boast over men, like from a psychological insight. I mean, women can think just as men.
I don't care what perspective you looking at. I can show you the religious system that women created. It's in pre-dynastic times. It was goddess worship, worship of the womb, the uterus. They taught that life come through the woman. Now in these Bibles, they teach that it come through the man. So it's a big difference between patriarch spirituality and matriarch. And when the Bible is patriarch, ain't that matriarch about it. So if it was written by women, then the women wrote they made a patriarchal spiritual system that was anti-women. And I just don't see them doing that.
Of
Yeah,
course. I
my
mean,
boy.
I'm talking about like malignant women, like the elite women. You know, those type of women. They're behind the scenes. You know, running this economy, this current exercise on us.
Bro,
That's
they
what I'm
even take
referring
it.
to.
Listen, they even take it all the way deep to the cesarean, like to take the woman to take the baby out the stomach, sort of like the how they say they broke the rib of Adam, this, that, and the third. They will encourage they will encourage your baby's mama or your daughter or your mama to have a cesarean so they don't build a cavity in their womb. They trying to block all the wounds of life, bro. This is why they got Planned Parenthoods, abortions, this, that, and the third. Because once that female make a tunnel, they can have unlimited amount of kids. So they trying to stop the tunnel. So even if you get pregnant, they want to pull the baby right out of your stomach. They don't want you to make that wound of life, that tunnel of life. That they they trying to close that tunnel all the way up, and they can't. That's the only way they can depopulate us, man. Is either not get pregnant or abortions. I don't care how many chemtrails they spray. I don't care what we eat or none of that. Long as we reproducing, they can't stop it, and they trying to stop that shit, bro. But go ahead. That was kind of off topic, but go ahead.
But nah, man, it's true though. Like when you look at the Bible, everything about it is masculine as fuck, man. It start off with war and shit. See, one thing about women that they don't get credit for, women invented bargaining. Now they the number one shoppers, and guess what? They always looking for a bargain too. And it's crazy because when you look at the spiritual history of women, they invented bargaining through gardening. And that's crazy. They both rhyme. But anyway, the women were the first gardeners. They were the maintainers. They nurtured us before the men did with the slaughterhouses. I went over it in her story to his story. But what I'm saying is, hold on a second. Damn.
A motherfucking dog fucked
Yeah,
somebody
man,
up.
I got a lot going on in the background. My bad about that. What I was saying was, back in pre-dynastic times, the reason they didn't have war because they bargained. If it was, see, war is all about resources, and before women would send their children to war, they would just bargain. What you need. It was always a bargaining system, and so what that today we just go to war over resources. There is no bargaining in a patriarchal society. But the only bargaining going on is the women who in the damn Walmarts and supermarkets. I think that's just the irony of like the words we use and shit, and how the world changed. But I'm probably going off on a tangent or something.
Yeah, but
I
can I
know
add
say every
one last thing about women? Yeah, I know like in the Bible, like it's all tribal based. So it was a matriarchy, but I think it was the women controlling, the simps into getting them to do what they wanted behind the scenes, because I personally believe that, women have an
What
advantage
is a
that is
simp?
very
I don't know what a simp is. What is that?
someone that just pleases woman because of the thing she has between her legs.
And that makes all of us a simp if you don't please a woman because of the. Think about that. That's why I had to
Well, I
stop you
mean,
right there. Why wouldn't you please a woman because of the things in between her legs? She gonna please you because of the thing in between your legs.
yeah, but when she uses it as manipulation, I mean that's what I'm coming in terms
Cool,
of
cool.
with
I just wanted you to be specific. Yeah, I got you.
uh, yeah. So I'm just trying to rethink my thought.
Hey, now here's how we took the power
But
from the
hold on,
woman,
hold
man.
on. But
Here's
see,
what happened, bro.
let the brother finish because I did cut him off. But I was
Oh, I
just
thought he
trying
was
to. I
finished. Go
just
ahead.
wanted him for the people who
Nah,
don't know.
I actually forgot what I was gonna say, but y'all can continue.
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right, now what I was saying was here's how we took the power from the woman. We tore down the gardens, we tore down the trees, we tore down the vegetation, and we built these fucking caves, right? So now the woman like, hold on, man. What is y'all doing, bro? Y'all took our sons, y'all put them off into work, right? That's where you get the Masons from. Never mind that. Y'all done took our men, y'all put them off to work, and they turned against us because our gardening skills is no longer, right? So that now we're hunting and we're pulling back heavy ass animals and shit. So now we need manpower versus feminine power. And then once we tore down all the gardens, we tried to act like we ain't do nothing wrong. So we wrote them out of history instead of saying, yo, we fucked up, bro. Well, this is what the elite did, not us. I'm saying the elite was like, man, we fucked up. Let's just write them out of history and say man came from man. If you smart enough to know, once you read that in any scripture, man came from man, well, go make a man. I don't care what scientist you know.
Right. Can I
Go
add
ahead.
something? I actually kind of remembered. I think this a DNA. That goes back to the topic that something happened. I don't believe we all came from women. If I think that that thing was implanted in them. The womb was something that was implanted in her, and the femininity that came out. We all come from the black sun. That's the original womb, and then women got created from then on, and then we were made it here. But I think men don't remember that. So it's actually a privilege for a woman to have a womb, and I think that's the biggest secret.
What evidence do you have that that's the case?
No, what's the black sun? I want to hear about that. I never heard of a
Black
black
sun.
sun.
That's the womb. That's the main womb. I mean, that's where we all stem from.
So where did this knowledge come from, or
That's
did
the
you
portal.
just make it up or read it somewhere?
Well, let me ask him this. What is are you a flat earther? Is the black sun and North Pole to you?
Flat power all day, my bro. I mean, it's this is it. Yeah.
You're saying that it's the North Pole.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all they wanted to know. He's calling the North Pole the black sun, guys. That's probably where the confusion was.
Or the center, the indrawing seas, but right now I think it's actually calcified, like our pineal glands. That's where that black rock is there.
I actually agree that I think that humanity was created by a higher power, from the center or the North Pole. But I think after that, it was recreated through the woman, who's the physical interpretation of that power.
Exactly.
So the woman is the black sun. Okay, now we on the same thing.
The black sun ain't nothing but a nice way to not draw a vagina. If I pull up an image to you of that black sun image and tell you to look between your woman legs, you'll see what the image is, man.
Yeah, and the malignant woman, like the evil woman, that they don't want us to know about the black sun. They don't want us to go there. They want us to stay here in this cesspool, if I may say. I think that's one of my secret.
And that's why they made the woman come from a rib. You see how they trying to play us with the religion? See, if I don't even believe
right
they
there,
saying
right there.
a woman.
You nailed it. You nailed it right there. That's they want us to make us believe that. Exactly. I agree with that.
So can you link the black sun to the ether? The North Pole and the ether?
Yeah, you can. And
by birth.
See the reason why.
So that's why I think they wrote the Bible. That's why I think women, they had a hidden hand in writing that thing. I can't prove it in one shot. I mean, I'm gonna have to cite biblical resources.
The people who are responsible for the Bible got their name all over it. King James, the Gideons. They telling you who created it, and they want all the credit, just like a man do, right? When we shoot a jump shot, we throw up, come on,
right,
come on. All the facts point to that man wrote it. But the thing the brother asked, can the black sun be tied to the ether? Well, the black sun is the North Pole, and that's what ties the ethers, plural, because there's more than one ether. Put an N in front of it, it's a netter. There are many nets or nut goddesses on top of nut goddesses, like a rainbow, arches. And what connects all of these different domes is the North Pole, like a pole that connects the meat to a shish kebab, connects all of them stacks of vegetables and meat. The one pole connects all of these worlds. But why that connects to the woman is because it don't happen how you think. Like when you come to the earth, your spirit don't come through the North Pole and spits out the North Pole inside of a body and say, hey guys, what's up? I just was born. What happens is everything is micro and macro. What the North Pole represent on a biological, a micro level is the umbilical cord that the soul hooks up to travel here. And that's what tethers you in the center of your stomach. That's your North Pole. So everything plays out on a macro level in the stars with your spiritual energy trying to descend here. And as it descend here, the act that's happening above happens below. So the spirit is like a Casper ghost going through the dark, and it sees this world, and it says, you know, I want to go in that thing, get out of the dark. And it plays out to us like a sperm going in an egg. So this is how it syncs, how these worlds connect. You see, so to speak, we can get deep into that, but that's how it connects with the woman, because she's what the soul cling to get here. That's why they call angelfish, because angelfish it's the same way where the male fish attaches to the female for life, and we're fallen angels, so we're the angelfish or the anglerfish. But we can get deep into this. I'm gonna pass the mic.
Yeah, I was just making sure we were on the same page, because that can also be tied to feminine and the number 9. That's how I look at it when you incorporate mathematics into it, because everything can be described by numbers and patterns, like the Fibonacci sequence and phi and all that.
Yeah, for example, right, the female is the number 9, the feminine, and this is why I'm explaining her biology with numbers and numerology. And see, the 9 is a reflective number. Any number you add with 9 gonna give you that number. So 9 plus 3 is 12, but 1 plus 2 is 3. 9 plus 5 is 14, but 1 plus 4 is 5. Any number you give to 9, it's gonna give you that number back, because it's a mirror number. It's a reflective number. It's gonna give you what it put out. Just like the woman, a man put a seed in her and he gets his reflection out. You see, the 9 behaves like the feminine or the woman. You put a watermelon seed in the ground, you get the reflection on the surface in the form of a watermelon tree. So you put a 6 inside of a 9 and you get this 15, which is the 6 again. It's that number that recycles the numbers. That's why after 9, all of them repeat themselves. That's why 9 times anything is going to be 9.
Yep.
So it births all the other
don't hear you
numbers,
talk about
right?
Yeah, 9 times 3
is
27. 2 plus 7 is 9. You know, you can keep doing this with 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 is 9 is reflective, like the woman is on a biological level. And I don't talk about, you probably don't hear me talk about numbers that much, because I talked about it so much for so long, we just moved on. But, you know, yeah, it's all good, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I just wanted to simplify something, because I don't know where he would get the idea that women wrote the Bible when the Holy Trinity is all masculine, and when the real Trinity is Mother, Father, Child, and they have it Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They completely disregard the feminine aspect.
No, I think he meant transgenders wrote the Bible. No, I'm just fucking with y'all.
But if like, that's what I'm saying. If women wrote the Bible, why would they not incorporate the feminine aspect into it?
Because they're trying to keep the male psyche that it's something natural. You know, it's not something that's written in paper. I mean, it's like this reverse psychology that they're playing on us. It's subconscious.
I feel like that's what the
I'm
men
trying
are
to
doing.
say.
I wouldn't stand on that theory, bro. The woman wrote a Bible. I let that
I'm
go
talking
right
about
now.
I'm talking about like the creme de la creme, like not every woman thinks this way. I'm talking about like the sinister type women, like the elites
Well,
that
well,
I
well.
think they're chilling.
Have you ever heard of the Council of Nicaea?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's but like
What
that's
happened?
like
What
that could be
happened?
fake history though. I mean, they're behind the scenes.
Well, no, brother.
I believe they're
Well,
much older than
oh
the
my
men
God.
because we don't have wombs.
You want to stop
You know,
dealing with your beliefs for a minute so I can give you some facts that you can really prove?
Go on.
During these councils that I'm bringing up, this is not fake history. It's documented through the episcopal texts, through the pantheon, through the what they call the some sex texts are sanctioned, some are non-sanctioned. The sanctioned ones became the Bible. But all of these religious books are real history, written in the form of mythology. These wars were actually fought. It was people in the Bible that lost their land to these Christians, man, and when they came with them crusades. It just that when they wrote this history in their book, they said God gave them lands. So you got to understand, brother, that the church was the government and history became mythology because of that. The church didn't keep history like the government do today. They kept it in a mythology form because the Christians was going on crusades and forcing their God on people. And when they took over the land, they had to rewrite history to the future generations. So the rewritten history became what we call the religals, the religion, the religals, where they rewrit the real text of what happened because the people who took over ain't gonna tell you in history what really happened. So they got people believing that they in power because they God's chosen people. But it's some history to why Jews rule the world and why the Bible say they the chosen people. We can't just say we miss all of this when we get into like beliefs and shit. That's why I always want to bring the facts and we can build beliefs off
Bro
of the facts.
Sanchez, what about the Cathars? The Cathars are like this Gnostic sect, and women used to be like the main heads. So I believe
I'm not disagreeing with you that it was always women working along with the patriarchs. The patriarchs had to get born. The patriarchal rulers that ruled this man's world had to be born from a woman. But look what they doing. They hate the woman so much they trying to stop that now. They saying we can genetically manufacture a human. We don't need the woman no more. This is what happened when you let patriarchs get in charge. You think the woman will do that? You think the woman will have part in?
I mean, it's about destroying a bloodline, in my opinion. I mean, I know it can get a little confusing thinking about like a gender line. It's not about gender.
It's not about controlling a bloodline. It's about a bloodline controlling the damn minds of the world.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to that. But
okay, and they do that through religion, and those bloodlines pass their power through the man, which is a patriarchal system. Now you got a queen, right, called Elizabeth, and she's supposed to be representing the matriarch of Virgin Mary in the flesh, but it's the mans that carry out the will. It's not Queen Elizabeth that's making up all of these rulers at the UN United Nations table. She's just one example.
How would you know that though?
What I'm telling you is it's not one woman that rule the world.
Of course it's not.
Hold on. What I'm telling you is people like Queen Elizabeth and all these queens are so glorified because women rulers are so fucking rare. Even when you look in history at ancient Egypt, you had more pharaohs than queens. And the queens that Egypt had, they get put on a pedestal because they even tell you it was so fucking hard for a woman to get in power. So anytime we see the queen, we bow down because we know it's way fucking more harder for a woman to get in power than the man. We don't really marvel at male kings like that. Oh, there go the king. There go the, We expect that from men. So that's what I'm telling you, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
If you notice, every king implicated a woman. Like they had eyeliner on, they had wigs on, they had dresses on. they looked it like a woman. That to let you know that's where it was transferring from women to men. Because the men was actually trying to look like women because women was in power first. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you get these feminine looking pharaohs, this, that, and the third, because there used to be a woman on the throne. You know what I'm saying? So once they took it over, the psyche of the brain was like women rule, so they dressed up like women. You're not gonna see no pharaoh or nobody like that masculine. No Shaka Zulu with no gold cuffs on his arms, bare chested, bulky, beating somebody up. No, you're gonna see some feminine dude in a robe, bro. And he gonna have gold on, he gonna have eyeliner on, he gonna have a head garment on, he gonna have a wig on, the whole thing.
You know something that I thought about? Ain't no way a woman gonna write no book that's gonna let a man say she came out of his goddamn rib cage. I'm sorry. Ain't no group of women finna get together.
Yes, they can.
And demote themselves like that, man.
Why not, bro, Sanchez?
I'm just saying.
Why would they not have the ability to lower their ego for
brother, this is a
delayed
huge
gratification and win a war?
I'm gonna tell you why now. I'm gonna tell you why right now though. You asked the question because it's a huge stretch with so little evidence and for so little motives. When women was the first slaves, men was ruling over women before they was ruling over each other. They was ruling over their damn women. So now they're ruling over our children and women, government. And it's men doing it. It ain't a group of women up there making them laws, man. It's men telling your ass, use this crosswalk, motherfucker. And it's men mostly enforcing them. It's men making up the military. It's men maintaining this damn man's world, man.
I agree to that.
What are we talking about?
Can you agree to this? Can you agree to this that all right, we know women live longer than men on natural circumstances. Do you think woman was here longer than man?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, stop right there. Now stop right there. How a woman come from a man's rib then?
No, that's what they want us to believe.
No, hold on, man. You got to think, bro. No, stop. Okay. Don't pass over it. Ask yourself this question. Male was here after woman, but they told us woman came from a male's rib. You see how right there you can move on. You don't got to think no more. You don't got to be like, well, right.
I mean, I see it as just an ego trip for the male. I mean, that's
no. I'm asking you.
An original ego trip.
Did woman come before man?
As simple as that. Right.
No, did woman come before man?
I can't say, but I'll say yes.
No, you just said yes. You just said yes.
Just for the sake of it. Okay. Yeah.
All right, sake of argument, right? And then they told you in the same breath that woman came from a man's rib. See why you can't believe it now? Because you naturally believe woman was here first. But then they told you, and they never performed this procedure again. They act like the Most High came down, grabbed you, broke your rib, excruciating pain, broke your rib and made a woman, but we know woman was here first because that's where we came from. So don't let them just throw something at you without saying a lie. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I believe bro got a thing against women. Somebody fucked bro over, man. Hello. Chloe, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just
I just like asking penetrating questions. That's all. I think,
No, I just want you to think with an open mind on the lies they give you, because it's a lot of truths and a lot of lies. Like, they'll give you a lie, man, and they'll stretch the lie, and you'll believe they lie more than the truth they gave you. That's how the devil deceive you. Well, that's how God give you free will to make you make an asshole out of yourself, or to make you make a genius out of yourself. So what I'm telling you is, if I tell you 2 + 2 is 4, right? And then I give you $5 and tell you that's 2 + 2, you gotta know that he dumb as hell. He gave me $5. That ain't 2 + 2. You see what I'm saying? So if you tell me you came from a rib, but you also telling me you was here before me, how could you come from me? You see what I'm saying? It's real simple. It's real simple. You dig what I'm saying? So now, why did they say that? Now, here's why they said that. To write the female out of history. This is the only reason why they said that, because that was the first war. It was a gender war. They got the fucking these females up, bro, on some domestic violence shit at an all-time high, raping them. Remember in the Bible, they like, man, if she start her period, you can have sex with her, bro. She can be 11, bro. You can just walk up on her and have sex with her, bro.
Yeah,
and her daddy
yeah.
gotta acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. That's in the Bible right there. So you telling me
why
women wrote this?
Why did the war start? Why do you think everything
They
went
tore out on
underground
the
with the women?
vegetation in the gardens, but go ahead,
It was
bro.
because the women originally held power when we was in gardening societies. They are the original human with the green thumb, the knowledge of the seed. And when we was in vegan-based gardening societies like the Garden of Eden trying to portray in that story in Genesis, we weren't eating the animals because we kept the laws that the women had in those matriarchal spiritual systems. We had a different spirituality that forbade us to harm animals, and that was laid down by women, great grandma, oracles in the village, and they kept us.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So it was the first male hunters that threw us into this patriarchal world today of slaughterhouses, hunting the animals and disobeying. The first war was man versus the woman. Then after that, it was us versus the animals. Then we got busy killing up all the animals because we left the Garden of Eden. They told you this in mythology. We left the vegan-based diets. And the diets that we under today are the result of patriarchal society where we rely on male hunters and no longer women gardeners who rule the world. But that's what I went over in her story to his story, brother. I think you need to check this series out.
Yeah, well, I'm a vegan, by the way. Oh, thanks. I'm just saying that.
Shout out to you for that, brother. Hell yeah. So what's good, my brothers, man? Y'all got anything else y'all want to contribute to the bill?
Son, dude. Son sitting there with his camera on, chilling like a motherfucker. What's up, man? Look, he ain't unmuting that bitch or nothing. But I'm about to get out of here, bro, man. Thanks for letting me on. Yeah, thanks for letting me on, man. You know, I can get obnoxious sometimes. You be bearing with me. Good looking on that tip. And man, I'll holler at y'all, man.
Oh no, you good peoples. You welcome anytime, Drop. I appreciate you for coming through. The brother Cloven, Tim Truth as always, and all of you brothers on the panel, Mr. Matt, man, the brother Son Ray, I think that's his name, Son Ray. And yeah, man, everybody in the chat, has been a good show, you know what I'm saying? Awesome bills. And to just stay tuned, like I said, for the things I mentioned earlier. To all the brothers on the panel, y'all want to say something before I close the call and let y'all go? I guess that means no, y'all. So a big shout out to all of these brothers. And I'm going to let them go ahead and go. And brothers, anytime y'all want to come on and build with me, you know, just drop the emails. I'm going to continue to do this. Be safe, my brothers. Peace out to y'all. I look forward to building with y'all again. All right, my brothers. And to all of y'all in the chat room, I want to thank y'all for coming out. You know, it's Friday. I had to catch up with y'all, talk to you. It's been a minute. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I ain't been having time to stream. That's why I'm so eager to get up off here now. I can't put the 8 hours and all that in. You know, I got other stuff going on. But, you know, when I get back with a lot of time I can dedicate to this content creating, we heading back and we go hitting on the gas, and we taking all of this information and we're packaging it up into a great movie type narrated documentary form where I'm also vlog my life and share with you how I come up with my teachings. So when I'm in here, when I'm in this room and I'm researching and I'm preparing lectures, those vlogs gonna be part of the video. Like people be like, how you come up with your information? I'm gonna have that vlog into the videos. Like some things in my life, and probably me working out stuff, some what I eat here and there with the teacher. But it's gonna be put together in a way where it's gonna be very professional and just narrated documentary stuff. You know, we gotta do something different with this thing. So that's what I'm working toward, man, and also trying to get more independent of YouTube, as well as trying to do the music and everything else with t-shirt design, you name it, man, and stuff like that. So, you know, but I ain't going nowhere, y'all. And I just want to say I thank y'all for all y'all support. Shout out to all of my Patreons. Oh, and another thing for people who wait on crystals, stand by on the crystals. It's been a delay with the crystals, so I know a lot of people ain't received crystals. Don't worry about it. If I have to send y'all t-shirts, that's what we'll do. So if you're a Patreon, you know, if that'll be something you're interested in, I think that's the route that I'm gonna end up having to do, is just send y'all t-shirts. But if I do that, it can only be the people who pledge, you know, $5 or more. You know, I can't send, you know, somebody pledge $1, you know, that's gonna break me. Now I ain't rich, but yeah, we could do something like that, man. Cause the crystals are hard to melt out, and the melting place has been giving me problems, and they've been getting returned and shit. So we're gonna figure out something with that. We ain't gonna stop. We just rebuilding. Everything is about death and rebirth. So hey, man, that's what I'm going through right now, trying to rebirth so I can fly like a butterfly. Because you know, I'm graduating from being a caterpillar. You know, so that's what time it is. I'm at a 7-year mark in my life. I'm turning 34, which equals out to 7. And I've been having a strong urge to step my game up and recreate myself. So I'm just following the energy, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna just let y'all go though. Peace and much love to y'all. We'll see you in the future.